two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is my brother, Sarge. What's going on?
It's another week, man. That was quick.
It's always quick. I think
Ridiculous.
We should do it every other week,
Ridiculous.
maybe. Maybe we should do it every other week instead of every week.
Then it would be like an eternity.
Yeah. We're live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is episode 368. It is October. It's October 5th. So if you're watching this after the fact, it's just recorded live October 5th, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can help us out by hitting that like button. You can help us out by hitting the subscribe button. You can help us out by becoming a member. As little as $5 helps us out and goes towards me, this channel. We do lots on this channel. We do podcasts on Thursday nights. We do live shows Monday through Thursday mornings from 10 o'clock in the morning till about noon Eastern. We do Let's Plays, and then we do random stuff throughout the time. Like this afternoon, Sarge, I played RoboCop, the demo. We'll talk about that, what we've been playing. But we do a lot of different things on this channel. And you can also listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and anywhere else where podcasts are formed. And you can also watch us over on Spotify as well. So, on today's show, Sarge, we have lots of different little Microsoft news stories. We're going to be talking about Sony. We got a couple Sony stories as well. We have a GameStop story. We have Epic story. We have a Call of Duty, couple Activision stories. We have, what's it called? We have Marvel stories. We have Atari. We're going to talk about a little bit about Atari. We're going to talk about this nightmare fuel of this Winnie the Pooh game, which is called Winnie's Hole. That's right, it's called Winnie's Hole. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about reviews. We're going to talk about the review process. So we watched a video yesterday from Force Gaming. He made a review of how it's broke, and we're going to have a little conversation about how broke it is. And then we have a couple other stories. So yeah, make sure you guys tune in and hang out with us for the entire show. We're here for at least 2 hours, if not maybe more. And then we do a Q&A near the end of the show. So we'll open that up for you guys at near the end. All right, Sarge, let's go to what we've been playing. Sorry. All right. Another week. More games, Sarge. I know you played something else. We played together. We played last night. Warhammer 4K. Before you continue, hold on one second. YouTube Lurker, thank you very much for the gifted 20 memberships. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you for the continued support. Appreciate that very much. All right, Sarge.
I think we should go right into Winnie's Hole. I think we should go right into it.
Oh, that's a good joke. It's a good joke, but
I don't even think we're allowed to discuss that game. I predict about 75 puns as chat goes off the deep end when we start talking about Winnie's Hole. By the way, is that the actual name?
That's the actual name of the game, Winnie's Hole. Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be. We might want to say that story for like the last 10 minutes because
this is why
it's going to go off the rails.
This is why what happens when Disney loses its public
IP?
domain. Yeah, to the public domain because anyone can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever you want with Winnie's Hole, like anything.
It's gonna go off the rails, man. Save it for the end. Okay, so games we've been playing. So obviously, the one we all know we've been playing is Starfield, but we're not going to talk about that one because we all know that it's a decent game, and I don't want to hear any spoilers because I'm still playing through it, and I'm milking every minute. But I want to talk about Darktide, and since I played Vermintide.
I like Vermintide.
I played the other one. There was another one before Vermintide. There was another one. I can't remember.
It wasn't Warhammer, but you played Dark Alliance. The
Yeah,
other
it's
4-player
the same.
co-op D&D
It's
type
the same
of
thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. This one, at least they get the background of like the 40K universe a little bit more, so you can tell how ridiculous they are, like how over the top ridiculous
Yeah.
that universe is. I think they did a good job.
I like
think that is the game that we're playing right now. Is that a test or is that the actual release?
No, that's the actual release. It came out last year on PC, and then it came out on Xbox yesterday. It's not on PlayStation yet. It's not on PlayStation yet. It just came out.
It's the game is very brutal in the beginning, like very brutal, like to school you on how to play. Like that's how brutal it is. And then as your guy opens up abilities, the curve goes severely the other way. Like you become Jesus pretty quick. As long as you figured out how to use the moves in the game, the actual defense move, how to block and counter. And like you can fight, like I fought off like 100 guys by myself and my health bar went down very little. As long as you know what moves to do.
Right.
It's fun. And you definitely need 4 people that know how to play. Because if one person causes a problem, just like in the games before this one,
yeah,
you fail. You basically fail. Now, the good news, of course, is whatever you've done up to that point, you're still getting the XP. You're still getting paid.
Yeah.
But not finishing it, of course, is a blow. And I think that people who don't understand how to play this game, and I don't mean that in a condescending way, like you actually don't understand the game. Like if you really don't get it,
yeah,
and you fail multiple times, you won't go back and play it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely brutal. Like if you're by yourself and you play this game, I said this last night when we were playing. I said if you're a person that comes in this game, you're like, oh, I'm gonna try Warhammer 40K Dark Tide, and you're like, oh, this seems pretty cool. And you're like, oh, the guns, the animation, everything, the graphics, everything looks good. And then you're 3 minutes into the game, and then all of a sudden you die, and you're like, what happened? And then you go back in, and you die again. You're like, what happened? You're like, I can't complete the game. You're like, fuck it, I'm not gonna play anymore.
Well, and I only say that because I know a lot of people today, not all of them, but a lot of people today just don't have the patience to play a game like this where it schools you this badly. Like, and it does school you. Like, if you don't get, like I'll admit it, getting destroyed.
Oh, we definitely got
literally
destroyed.
getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Right? And we were getting destroyed by like normal guys with a bigger weapon, not even like a boss. And then when the boss came out, we got smoked.
Yeah,
we got smoked.
When that boss came in, and it's random when the bosses come in. You know what I mean? They're not there all the time.
Oh no, listen, I like the randomness. It's completely cool. I also found out that by the time I reached level 10, and everybody around me was like a level 10, like 7 to 10 to 12, like all of a sudden those bosses are starting to get chomped up real quick. Like people, if you understand what to use against the boss, you'll do well. You can kill him quick. I thought that health bar was ominous. I saw that giant health bar at the top of the screen. I'm like, oh, bro. And then we were doing damage, and I'm watching it go down by like little hairs, and I'm like, oh, we're in trouble.
Yep.
So we're in trouble. But got my massive grenade for the ogre, got my special ability for my psyker, the stun thing for the other. Like, it all works out. You guys know how to stun him to kill him. It works. It does work.
So you played a lot more today. So you played? Have you played each class yet?
I played more than I should have. Yeah.
Okay. So what are the good parts about this game? What do you like about the game? And what start off what you don't like about this game? What don't you like about this game?
My main criticism, and it's done, but don't get me wrong, it's done well. It really is for this type of game. I'm a little disappointed. I went through let me back up. I went through the skill trees, so I know there's abilities that make you move faster. However, as the standard movement in this game, it feels sluggish. To me, it feels sluggish. Like almost like stamina doesn't need to be like an actual stat on the game that you run 3 seconds.
Yeah, I didn't like the stamina.
And your stamina thing goes down, and then you walk slow again. Like, and you're running. Don't get me wrong, you're running, but it just feels sluggish. But everything else about the game is done well. I just realized that you could dodge bullets. Did you realize that? Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, if you're moving,
I know you can strafe and stuff like that. But
no, it's not a strafe. It's not a strafe. So what you do is when you're moving towards a guy and he gets ready to shoot, like the sniper or the machine gun guy, you'll know when he's about to fire. Like you hear like a little clicking noise. If you juke the stick and press the B button at the same time as you're moving forward, you do a sidestep.
Yeah, it's a strafe.
So you can
It's
act. It's not a strafe. A strafe is this. A sidestep is like you
Sorry,
kind of
you're
like
juking.
jumping out of the way.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
you're jumping
juking
out of the way. Yeah, you can dodge. Thank you, Water. Yeah, you can dodge. And I didn't know that until just today.
Well, that's because you
Which is
didn't go through
kinda
the
cool.
tutorial then. Because the tutorial, I didn't know you could dodge bullets, but
I don't do unless I'm hurting and like I'm really hurting. I play the game. I just play the game and figure it out. I'm old school. I don't need to hold my hand right away. If the controls are completely reversed and you never told me and I didn't look through the tutorial, then I would say I would look through it. But otherwise than that,
the one discrepancy or one negative thing that I don't like about the game is that I know it's a first person game, right?
Yep.
But I wish I could go third person sometimes. And that's not a dig against the game itself. That's more of a preference for me. Like with these games, I don't know. Or maybe it's just me because I played it on console. Maybe I want a field of view slider just to back up a little bit. I felt almost a little too claustrophobic, especially when you're getting attacked by a lot of guys. I want the field of view just a little bit wider. Maybe that's what I want.
Yes, the field of view is always an issue, especially on console. The field of view, maybe on PC, the field of view is different. It can and probably the view of the game and like how it plays is probably a little different. But I think the other reason why they don't go third person, number one, is I think that graphically it would have a problem because it would almost be like a little bit of a cheat for you because you would see guys
you
behind
would see
you.
more guys. Yeah,
You would see more guys, and so you don't get those free. You don't get hit as often. You just register the hit, to turn around.
I don't like. I didn't realize until you said it yesterday. You were trying to change the trigger to a button, right?
Yeah.
I hate just pressing the trigger, and
Yes.
I'm bang as a melee. I don't
Yes.
mind when you have the gun, right?
Or they say you could do the trigger or the bumper. Bro.
Yeah, the bumper's
Those are
the
your
worst.
two choices.
Bumper's worse than the trigger.
If I'm gonna push the bumper 75,000 times,
Is there a
in
field
that,
of view slider?
I'm gonna break.
I'll have to go in there and look.
I'm gonna break that button for sure.
See,
I'm gonna break it.
See, Dolphin, when I said field of view, like I just feel claustrophobic. Like sort of, I just feel like I feel like I played RoboCop today. We'll talk about that in a second. But you know how RoboCop, he doesn't turn his neck; he like turns his upper body. That's the way I feel like. That's the way you're moving in this. I feel like if you just implemented RoboCop into this, that's the way I feel. Like on console, maybe I'll go in and adjust the stick to move faster and move the field of view slider back. And maybe that's my problem. But that's it. I don't really have any issue with this game. I feel like the weapons feel good, right? Obviously, the lower level weapons don't feel good. I upgraded my pistol. My pistol does like 335 damage. So I'm doing headshots. And one tap, one shot, one kill type of thing. It's a slow move. You get like it's 5 shots. You get 5 shots off, and then you have to reload, and reloading takes forever. But then the skill tree helps you with that, right? It helps you get reload faster and so much. I like the difference between the classes. I thought the classes were good. I like the variations of the enemies that are in the game as well. I love the sound cues. Right, the sound cues, the audio in this game is phenomenal between the weapon sounds, the slashing sounds, all the different sound effects that each of the bad guys make. They each have a tell, you know what I mean? Like a little sound cue where someone's about to shoot a net at you, or a guy's running at you with a grenade, or the flamethrower guy, or the boss. They all have their own little sound cues and whatnot, and I really like that. What I really like is the banter back and forth between the NPCs, like your characters, right? Like the NPC is automatically doing it, and the banter going back and forth. Where if you take ammo and you don't need ammo, they call you out. They're like, "Oh, you're stealing all the ammo," right? And you're literally calling out the person that's taking all the ammo, or taking the heals, or taking whatever. I think little things like that is really cool. I like the little banter back and forth. I'm liking the game. It's brutal, but at the same time, you said yesterday, Sarge, once you know the stuff, it gets easier and easier, and you're gonna wreck people once you get older, like higher up level.
But that's the way the game should be. Like a game should be progressively hard, and it should be difficult to figure it out. But as you progress and get better and learn the game, then you get better at it, and the game goes well, and you kill bosses quicker, and like you feel the sense of accomplishment for playing the video game.
Yeah,
like it's more fun. But in the beginning, that's brutal. Like we were getting smoked. Like, and I'm like, am I Am I getting too old? What happened? Like, I don't understand why I'm getting smoked this badly.
I
But
like
the fact that there's so many different types of specific guys in the game is something I like as well. Like for Left 4 Dead, there's like 4, right?
Yeah.
I think this one's got like 7 or 8.
Well, there's
It's crazy.
I think there's like 7 or 8 regular just like minions, and then on top of that, the specialty guys. I would say there's like another 7 or 8.
I mean, the way the game is constructed, you have to move together. You can spread out a little bit, but you have to move around together to get the bonuses. The coherency bonus is a big deal in this game. Huge deal. Look at your tree. Look at your tree for your guy, and the coherency bonuses mean a lot. Like, because the way that this game's mechanic works is you don't take health damage, right? You take toughness damage, and if the toughness damage goes to 0, then you take health damage. So as long as you're able to buff up your toughness and get the replenish at a higher rate, very rarely should you get beat up on until the later levels of the game when they're sending crazy stuff after you.
Right.
Because I notice how the game plays out. There's usually like 2 or 3 medical facilities along the way. And then there's also the medical kit that you could put down that gives you the health AoE, which is I guess completely necessary at low levels in order to defeat a boss. Like, if you put the health pack down and just sit in it and let the boss attack you, you guys can just wail on it. That's I guess it would be called cheese, but it's not really cheese.
I did it yesterday.
A low level character can get away with killing bosses that way, and it works.
Yeah, grenades were good as well. That's one of the things. This is what I didn't like about the game when I first started playing, right? You kill a guy, and he has this giant mace, and the mace drops on the floor, but you can't pick it up. You're, like, stuck with the weapons that you have.
No, it's all the same.
No, I know. But like, in my head, because I'm playing Starfield for the last month, every time I kill someone, I can pick up their weapon or pick up the stuff, right? That's where I'm at.
Because you're anticipating the amount of money you're going to get, which is pretty standard. It's not like you get like over and above. Like, I was in a match today where we found all the added things. You know how there's like 3 things hidden on the map?
Yeah.
So we found all 3.
Whatever they're called. Yeah.
Yeah. So we found all 3. So when you find all 3 and you finish the map, I think the bonus really is just a little bit more of that premium currency, and then like 850 more dockets. It's not like a tremendous amount. What I am trying to figure out now is what the secondary objective is. I think it's got to do with like maybe not going down or killing a guy with melee weapons only. You know, it's like one of those type of secondary goals that they don't tell you until finally someone does it accidentally, and then they see it, and then they'll be on the internet telling you people this is what the secondary goal is.
Well, the secondary goals are the scriptures. You get the secondary, at least the ones.
They're not. No, they're not. Secondary goal is not that. It's 2 different things. There's the 3 hidden items that are on the map, and there's a secondary goal that they don't tell you what it is. I also think that the ability for you to solo in this game when you're in trouble, if you know how to parry and counter attack, you can hold off a bunch of guys by yourself, and it just feels good.
Yeah, until a big guy comes and then wrecks you.
It feels good. Like, I'm just starting to learn how to defend against the really armored guys. They could be done the same way, but instead of a parry, you have to hit them with an attack and then dodge. All right, and you can dodge, stun, attack, dodge, and you just go around in a circle. And you can also do the same kind of move. But I love the ogre. I think he's hilarious.
I haven't played him yet. I've only played the veteran,
and I love the psyker. The only one I haven't played yet is the what's the lunatic? No, not the lunatic. What's the other guy called? There's the veteran, the ogre, the psyker, and what's the other guy?
I don't know.
It's a lunatic. Not a heretic. He's called something else. Somebody in chat's going to correct me. I don't remember. I haven't played him at all yet. But I have most characters up to double digits, like 10, level 10 for everybody. Zealot.
Jesus, you put a lot.
Yeah. What's up, MM? The fire is aggravating. You really have to know to get out of the way. But I did find out that once the fire is down, as long as you sprint through it, you don't take the full damage you would have during the initial explosion of the fire.
I like also that it makes you wander the board to learn the board. Yeah, and so after I got off stream last night, I played another match afterwards, which is a bunch of randos, and it was one of the maps that we already did, and I was like, oh, I know where I'm going. Like I picked it up super fast, where to go, where the exits
I'm
are.
starting to find out where the hidden stuff is.
Yeah, I really like this
starting to
game.
find where
This is a big win, I think, for Game
Warhammer.
Pass. Well, for Warhammer and for Game
For
Pass.
Warhammer.
Like for anyone that's on Game Pass, this is on there, and this is a good time. This is a good little game. I say little, but you know what I mean. It's just it's not a triple A title that people are going out for, but
it's a fun bros game. Like
Yeah.
you just kind of hang out.
yeah, I really like it. I recommend this game. This is a fun game. Anything else you want to say about this game, Sarge?
No, we're playing. I want to play this after though. If anybody wants to play this after we're done with the podcast, we're gonna play this.
I won't stream it, but I'll play it. So if anybody wants to play, hit me up. Yeah. So yeah, this is fun. I really like this game. I'm gonna put it in the rotation. This is gonna go back in the rotation with every once in a while I'll play like Division. I'll play this. I'll play Battlefield. I'll play Starship Troopers. But yeah, that's a fun game. Anything else you've been playing, Sarge? You just played
Starfield and Dark Alliance. That's it.
Okay. I played a little bit of a game today. I just did an upload, so if anybody wants to watch it, it's up there. I played a little game called RoboCop, and let me tell you,
I saw that. All I heard was the theme music for most of the morning.
I absolutely adore this game. Okay, I thought when we watched it a couple months ago, we watched the trailer. I was like, oh, come on. But then we watched it. We watched an IGN video of in depth of it, and I was like, it actually looks pretty good. It has like a little, it has RPG elements to it. It has dialogue options that you can pick. The weapons feel good. I'm playing. You'll see a little bit of hitching going on because I'm playing on PC, so I'm definitely gonna get this for console when it comes out.
Are you taking cover?
I am.
Is that you taking cover?
Yes, I'm taking cover because
what's the matter with you?
Because I didn't know how to play the game yet. This is 10 seconds in, and I'm already healing, right? And once you're dead, right? So I didn't want to die, so I couldn't tank a lot of the stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. So then I was like, okay, I understand now. So now I'm doing headshots left and right. I realized right there you can rip people's arms off and kneecaps. Like it's brutal, dude.
Oh, not kneecapping everybody all day long.
The headshots are so, like, that guy lost his leg. Other guy, I blow off his arm, right? Like the violence, okay? They captured this, right? It's a cover shooter. That's right, Lurker, right? The violence, they've captured the 80s RoboCop feel of Detroit, like, beautifully. Dialogue in this game, the banter back and forth, the cheesy one-liners, just everything about this game. Like, I'm gonna give a round of applause to the developers because they captured my childhood of watching RoboCop and seeing this. Right? They got the voice actors. Okay,
the real ones,
the real voice actors,
or the AI versions of them. Who cares? The voices are good.
Yeah. There's a lot to this game, right? Now, I didn't know what's happening, but later in the stream, I walked up to the car. I was like, wait a minute, can I drive? Is this an open world game? I don't know I don't think it's an open world game, but I was excited. I was like, can I go around the city just being a cop and being RoboCop? And you can. The small little maps that you go around, you can give tickets to people. You can help pedestrians. You can break.
If only it was Spider-Man, but with RoboCop.
Oh, my God. That would be great if they could just go around the city of Detroit with an open world map like that. Yeah. It really is a lot of fun. Really is a lot of fun. The amount of the demo, surprisingly, is pretty long. We played for 2 hours. Okay.
That's meaty. That's a meaty demo.
That's a demo for 2 hours, right?
That's
lots of missions. And then when you're done with the demo of the main mission, okay, it says you can keep playing. And you go around and just do side missions in the world. And I was just like, wow, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to the demo. It's a $60 game, right? It's a $60 game, but it really is a amazing, like, the interaction with the world. Like, I'm breaking the windows. You can't jump out. It's a tile, Sarge. It's like Starfield. It's the boundaries.
Okay.
You're gonna have to turn around and go and complain on the internet that there's boundaries and stuff.
Yeah.
you can pick up the monitors and throw them at people, the chairs and stuff. Things blow up around you. You can find things. So as you're going around the map,
does the paper?
Yeah,
fly
look,
around?
yeah, the paper flies up in the air. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. As you said that, the paper flew up. There's little like drugs that you find, file cases, stolen goods. So when you're done with the mission, okay, all the stuff that you found is like bonus points and whatnot to get extra skill points. There's a skill tree. There's certain things like I found safes and stuff that you can't open up until you're like level 6 or level 10 in that category. So, let me back up a little bit because I'll show you the skill tree for a second.
You get to use your big metal finger to lock in computers.
I did not see if you could use the spike and shove it into anything yet. I thought when you melee somebody,
I thought that should be the melee, right?
yeah,
That
I
should
thought
be
the
the
melee was
melee.
going to be like that, but the melee here I'll come up. I think I melee someone up here. The melee's brutal, man. Like
In case you
just
get bored,
shattered
Krebsy, that's it. In case you get bored.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like the sound of the Auto 9? Come on, man.
So here's one of the things I thought was kind of weird, right? They drop weapons. They drop ammo. They drop machine guns and Uzis and pistols and stuff. But I was like, why? Why do I want that?
In case.
Right?
It's options.
I know, but I picked it up and used it. Besides the 50 cal, I ripped off the thing and started using it against people. All the rest of the guns, like, I just want to use RoboCop's gun, man. I'm living the dream of RoboCop.
Okay, well, let's just weigh that out real quick. So the people that grew up, watched RoboCop, know all the movies, know everything about him, are going to use the gun because that's what they know. But people who don't know who RoboCop is, and this is just a shooter with a robot guy who thinks he's a cop, right? This is how they look at it. They're like, what is this, how to get one gun? So you have to give those people the other guns to use. That's options.
I think...
Right? You have to give options.
No, but I
right?
think the reason...
However, us who know about RoboCop are like, I don't need an M16 or an AR-15. I'm going to use the Auto 9.
There is a section in your menu system that you can upgrade your gun, but you can't do it in the demo, right? But I think you use the AK or you use the other weapons when you're going up against like perhaps like a boss with armor. There is a guy that comes in that's a he's got a helmet on. I realize it takes 3 shots, right? It takes 3 shots to kill him. 2 to knock off the helmet and 1 to shoot him in the face, and then he's dead.
Does anyone in chat played the Terminator version of this studio? Like they played the Terminator game? Has anyone played that?
They say it's pretty good.
I mean, because the whole thing for me about the Terminator version is wanting to play during the post-nuke stuff and me going against like the T-800s and the hunter killers, like in the destruction of the world.
That's later
like,
in the game. Yeah.
Like that would be cool if that was the game. But if you're just running around inside buildings and you know what I mean? Like I didn't understand if that was the same thing. Like, and the problem with this for me, and this is my problem only, is I'm unsure whether I should buy it or not because I want to support people who are trying to do something a little different. Even though this is really a nostalgia cash grab.
Yeah.
And you know that. Right?
But
you know that.
The demo I played, I feel like this, and again, I haven't played much. I only played 2 hours. I would pay the $60. But I think most people will wait for this to go on sale to about $40, and then they'll pick it up. I would say this is, again, I don't know how long the main campaign is or anything, but the 2 hours that I played, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I was laughing, dude. I was laughing and just smiling. You guys couldn't see me because I wasn't on, but you could hear my voice. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, this is amazing. I loved it. Like I absolutely smile on my face the entire time I was playing.
Was there any televisions on during your playthrough where you hear the guy say, I'd buy that for $1?
There was no TVs, but there was a pamphlet on the ground that had him on there. Okay.
The pamphlet that had that guy on it?
Yes.
But not like a TV on in the background?
Not that I know of. Not that I
Okay.
saw or anything like that. It's $50 on PC. Yeah, I would say it's definitely worth. I think it's worth the full price. I do.
This is buy a game, make a game, sell a game. That's what this is. This is make a game, sell a game.
The amount of effort they put into to make RoboCop and feel authentic, right? And that's what I really like. What's going on first? right? That's what I really, really liked about this game. Now, obviously, there's a lot of walking around. There's like investigation work. There's things that you search and scan. Then there's the fighting going on. Obviously, no one's going to. You're not bringing anyone in for custody. You're murdering everybody. Okay,
that's not true. You had no choice but to use force. It's not because you're murdering anyone. You're an officer of the law.
No,
you're
I understand
not
that. I let
anyone.
that kid go. You gave me shit for it. You said he's a criminal. I said I let him return the car.
He stole a car.
He was a kid. I was trying to give him a second chance in life.
Let's not go wacko Democrat now, bro. You steal a car, you go to jail. All right.
He was returning the car though. He learned his lesson. RoboCop taught him his lesson. Eat your vitamins, right? Stay in school. I really like it. There was enough for me in the demo, and if you guys don't know, go to Steam. There's a demo. You can try it out. I think if you're a RoboCop fan, this is definitely a buy. Okay, if you don't know who the hell RoboCop is,
if the member berries are there, they're there. I mean, what weapons did you see besides the Auto 9? What weapons did you see? Was there a shotgun?
I didn't see a shotgun. There was an Uzi. There was a M16.
Yeah, those are all 80s guns.
There was I don't know if it was a 50 cal. It was a
probably like a Mac 10. Probably a Mac 10's got to be in there.
It was the one with the stand. I don't know my weapons like that, like you guys. I forget which one it was.
With the stand, the 50 caliber with the.
I think it was a 50 cal. I'm pretty sure. It was a tripod 50 cal.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let me fast forward.
We Must Rebel said the same thing. Like.
What do you say?
He knows what RoboCop. He knows what RoboCop is. It's enough for him to buy it, right? Because you know RoboCop.
Yeah. Oh, there's the arcade. Inside the arcade, they had the arcade machines and stuff. Let me see if I find the area where
were the real arcade machines in there?
No, they were off.
Off brand. Were they the right colors though? So you knew what game it was.
Yeah, they looked like the games. I was like calling them out. I was like, oh, this is this. This is this. Let me see.
I mean, it's just for shits and giggles. It looks like make a game, sell a game.
I also, just to people out there, when I first started, it was on Epic, graphics, but I was streaming at the time. I don't have a very powerful, whatever while I'm streaming, so I lowered it down to medium settings, and it still looks freaking good. So this is what it would look like on the Xbox Series S.
Here's the funny part. Here's the funny part, right? Now, just this morning, right? I watched you play, right? Just this morning on my YouTube and on my ads, the RoboCop movie for buy or for rent on my phone and on the ads.
Yeah.
I always find it humorous, man. I haven't seen a RoboCop thing on my phone for years, and all of a sudden the movie's on there for buy or for rent. It's inside my ad things now for RoboCop. I'm like, it's just weird.
Here, I think this is where I pick up the gun. I rip it off the stand and then start using it. Let me fast forward a little bit here.
You didn't fight? Did you get to fight an Ed 209 or no?
See that here it is. That's the gun I was talking about, right, that I'm holding right now.
Did you get to fire? Did you get to fight the 209 or no?
No, not in the demo.
Okay, not in the demo. Okay.
Yeah, but this gun felt good to shoot as well. Is this the new one or remake? That's the best one. That's
not a 50 caliber. That looks like a
M60.
Like
Krebsy says that's
60?
the M60. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, this was fun to use. Right, just the gruesome of the blood, man. There was this one time I shot a guy and his head exploded on the back wall, and you saw the puddle hit the wall and then start to ooze down the wall. I was like, yeah. I was like, that feels good. It's good. It's a good game for what I played, the demo. And I'll tell you, it's a chunky little demo, right? It's a chunky little demo that you can play and make a choice if you want to play it or not. So I have my full playthrough up there if you guys want to go check it out. Obviously, if you don't have a PC to play and you're waiting for it to come on console, it comes out November 2nd, I believe. Not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I love RoboCop. I do my Superman drop here.
When you're walking around, do you hear the sound effect of him walking?
All the time.
The whole time? Okay.
Here's actually one of the things, and again, this is not against the game. Because I've been playing Starfield, and I can jump and jetpack and pick up all the stuff and the way you move in that game, and then I go to this, right? You can't jump over a railing, right? It's RoboCop. You can't jump. It's RoboCop. You can't do certain things. And so if you're coming from a game like Assassin's Creed or a game where you're moving
a little bit of adjustment.
Yeah, and you come over to this, you're not going to be running or sprinting. He does have a little faster movement to walk forward. All right, it's like maybe a 1.25 speed.
A brisk walk.
Yeah, it's like a 1.25 speed. And there's no jumping. So if there's a ledge that's like 2 feet tall and a door to go through, you got to find the stairs to walk up and go around. You can't climb up or parkour or anything like that.
Oh, so old school. If you miss the opening, you got to go back.
You got to go back around. But if you come out, you could jump off. Like you could fall off the ledge and whatnot. But you got to find stairs. You got to find a way up. You're not parkouring or going through it. It doesn't matter if it's 2 centimeters above you or what. Like there's no jumping, right? So
right.
That, and I was like, it's a little weird coming from the games I've been playing to what this is. But man, I absolutely adore, like I said, I adore this game.
Do you think somewhere in the later parts of the game there's some kind of special ability that when he targets all the guys in the room, you just hit one button?
There is.
Goes, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom,
So you have, yeah. So there's abilities that you have that you can do. So I didn't have any of them. I had the it's like a flashbang. So I come in the room and hit C on the keyboard, and he does this like little flash. Then you also do bullet time, so you can actually slow down when you level it up. And when you raise your gun up, it slows down, or when you bust a door down, it slows down that moment, and then you can pick off the guys. But there's like abilities, it looks like, the farther you get, and it goes up in pretty dramatically. Here, let me see if I can go. This is where, let me see if I can find it real fast. There's a shooting range as well to practice. Okay, so this is, so you have the combat, right? So this is all the skills and stuff that you have. So you have combat, armor, vitality, engineering, focus, scanning, deduction, psychological. Okay, and if you notice, like I'm on focus, and focus says slow motion skill duration. Okay, the first one, which is 2 skill points in the tree, it says your reflexes allow you to see your environment in slow motion for a short period of time. Now, if you spend 3, 4, 5, 6 points in it, it doubles your critical damage. And then if you max it out, then you're eliminating enemies in slow motion, increases your slow motion duration, right? So you start to get OP as you're going, right? So the more you're doing the slow motion, the more people you're killing in slow motion, the longer your duration lasts to kill more people in slow motion. And there was other things too, like the combat, like engineering. It says here allows you to open up a safe without knowing the combination, so you can like rip off the door. So you find safes you can't open.
Do you really need to put points into that?
Yeah, I mean,
shouldn't you be able to rip the door off?
Yeah, apparently, you don't know what you're doing. I don't know.
I know.
There's like little things, right? You're not programmed to do it.
only programmed you to do that. I got it.
Yeah. So we did combat. We did. I put points into combat. I put points into focus as well. And I got the points pretty. We did one mission and we had 3 points. I don't know if it's just for the demo or whatnot. Is
it a leveling thing, like to get the points, or is it like just you get the?
I got it at the end of
because you completed a mission.
I completed a mission. I went back to the OCP and then they put me in the chair. And when they plug you in, it's like a debrief, right? So during the debrief, you get to level up your stuff, but you could also level up your stuff anytime you want when you're doing missions. So if you're out in the street doing missions, you could just click, I think it was tab or whatever, and then it would bring this up and you could put your points in as you go. So you don't have to go back to the OCP. But that's what happened.
Can you respec?
Yeah, you can respec. It says reset at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think it costs anything. Like I think it gives you back. So, yeah, and see the Auto 9, as you see at the top, the Auto 9 tab is there, but when you click on it, you can't do anything. There's nothing that you can do with the Auto 9. So apparently there's something down the line that the Auto 9, it's the best gun. It's the best gun in the game. You have unlimited bullets. Like it's just fun to use. Your RoboCop.
I mean, 9mm is a pretty common bullet type, but why not just let you find bullets for it? This way it gives you a reason to switch guns around.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why they give you unlimited.
Because the people who buying this game
want to be RoboCop.
The Auto 9 and want to be RoboCop. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why there's unlimited bullets. Why else do you give somebody unlimited bullets?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So that's That's what we've been playing. I've been playing Starfield. I played RoboCop. I played some Dark Tide. I played something else. Oh, Division had an update, Sarge. I don't know when you want to play that. Now you're going after recruiters.
Going after what?
You're going after recruiters. You're trying to save people, more hostages, and you're trying to stop recruiters from picking up other people. And then there's like other different game modes and that they put into as well. So
I want to sound like Nick Nolte right now, like I don't want to run a division, but goddamn.
But you got to log in
like
so you don't lose the
Yeah, I log in. I log in like every couple weeks. So I don't lose the leadership of the clan.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the dumbest thing ever. To lose the membership of your own clan if you don't log on. It's so dumb.
Let's go to top stories. All right. Top story. Number one story that we're talking about today is Microsoft. Microsoft is officially the best company in the world, at least according to Time. According to Time. Okay, not Microsoft, not Xbox, but Time.
According to Time, like the actual Time, or
magazine.
the magazine Time.
Magazine Time. Okay. It says amidst the big win, Redmond Giants seemingly slept through the cracks. Microsoft was ranked as the top world's best company by Statista and Time, closely followed by Apple, Alphabet, and Meta. As highlighted by Time, the criteria is used to come into conclusion was based on the formula of revenue growth, employee satisfaction surveys, and a rigorous environmental, social, corporate, and government of ESG sustainability and data. So according to the report, Microsoft made $72 billion in the most recent fiscal year, which translates to a whopping 63% increase from 2020. And the report also indicated that the tech giant had reduced its emissions by 0.5%. So, yeah, so Microsoft...
You know how they did that? How they lowered emissions by 0.5%?
They stopped cows from farting. I don't know.
Nope, they fired a bunch of people. They don't get to come to work.
Yeah,
that's what
the emissions.
Is.
Yeah, they're like Ted, you're fired, and take your jalopy with you. That's how we're going to save the environment.
0.05, we're saving the world. 0.05. Yep. Your ESG score.
Okay, sticking with
it's just so. First of all, let's back up a minute.
All right, go ahead.
Just stop. First of all, okay, Time magazine, which no one reads, especially in this chat.
I've never read a Time magazine. I've only seen the covers.
Nobody here reads Time.
I've only seen the covers.
You recognize what it might be, so I'll give you a little bit of credibility that they give a shit about who the best company in the world is. But what was the name of that first company you said? What was the first one?
It was Microsoft.
You said nope.
Oh,
nope,
Statista. It was called Statista. Statista. Yeah,
that's made up. No one knows what the fuck that is. So basically, a made-up company and a magazine that no one ever reads anymore gave the okay for Microsoft to be the best company in the world.
Voted amongst all the employees.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't know.
If you ever wanted to make up a story to fluff your own self up, that's it right there.
All right.
Such unbelievable malarkey on that article.
I mean, I'm just
bookmark that. I want to read that article. Bookmark it. Send it to me.
I'm just reading the news.
Is it on the Discord? Is it on the Discord?
It's in Discord.
It's in the Discord. All right, I'll look.
Next story: Minecraft Dungeons support ended by Microsoft. The game's been out for 3 years. They've done multiple updates for this game. I absolutely love Minecraft Dungeons. It's a fantastic little game. It actually does better things than most dungeon crawlers do, and it's set in Minecraft. The leveling, the leveling up the weapons up to your skill. So if you like a weapon, Sarge, you could take that weapon with you to the end of time, right? You just keep upgrading it, and upgrading it. You can constantly level up and get more points to put into other things. The bosses, the randomness of it. It's just a fun little game. 25 million people have played this game over the 3 years span, which is pretty impressive considering Cyberpunk just hit 25 million as well. So think about that, right? 25 million for Cyberpunk, 25 million for Minecraft Dungeons, right? So that's pretty impressive. So, but they're ending support. They're ending support for Minecraft Dungeons, which is kind of sad because that game,
I mean,
they could just keep pumping out different worlds and different maps and different things, and people would pay for it. It was like, I think each DLC was like $5, $7.
but it's probably to the point now where it's diminishing returns and it's not worth the investment.
I guess
What they're getting back out of it. But what's to say you couldn't do Minecraft Dungeons 2?
Sure,
Isn't that how it
sure,
goes?
right. But I think because it's on Game Pass, they could just keep updating it, because that would be a game people come back all the time to play, right?
I mean, we had this discussion in the past. Like, how long does a game need to be out before you're done with the game? And I don't like the fact when they say the term where you stop supporting it. Like, you stopped caring about it. Like, you don't. It's not making you any more money anymore.
Right.
Right. But you when you say to me like you stop supporting it, that means basically to me like you don't give a shit about it. Like that's what that really means to me. But like a game is a game. Like
yeah,
if Minecraft Dungeons was on Game Pass,
which it is
forever.
Yep.
Right. Is that a big deal?
Right. It doesn't matter if they keep adding to it or not. It's still there, and you can still play it.
It's a game that you play, and you play it when you feel like playing it.
Yeah.
Like the amount of hours you can play into a game like that doesn't unnecessarily mean that you have to have more content forever. What is the done date of a game?
Well,
like
there's so many challenges.
I've been playing Skyrim for 10 years.
I was just going to bring that up, right? Like, people play Skyrim. You could play Minecraft Dungeons, and Skyrim went back and made it where you can upgrade and level up in Infinity.
And I haven't fished.
Right, and
I've been playing for the last 10 years, and I haven't fished.
You could do that in Minecraft, not fish, but you can level up your character Infinity. Like, you can just keep going. It doesn't end. So I don't know. I like the game. I still play it. It's a fun little game to play. So going from that to the next story, Game Pass itself, right? Coming soon to Game Pass, Forza Motorsports, Like a Dragon, Warhammer 40,000, which is already out, but available. Gotham Knights came out in October. Lamplighters League, which is getting actually really good reviews. It's an RTS, not an RTS. It's a like an XCOM type of game.
Okay.
But
turn-based.
Thank you. It's a turn-based thing. And it's getting actually pretty good reviews. We got Warhammer 40K Dark Tide that came out on Game Pass. Forza Motorsports is coming out on the 10th, but right now you can get it today, I believe. If you pay the extra, like you did for Starfield, 5 days early access. You can play Forza Motorsports now. From Space comes out October 12th. I'm not sure what game this is. It says From Space is a solo or co-op action shooter for squads up to 4 players. Take on the challenge of liberating the Earth from alien infestations with friends. We might play this, Sarge. Just to let you know.
It's Dark Tide. It's
Dark Tide, but with cartoon characters. We might play it.
Yeah, it's the same game.
Like a Dragon is also coming out on October 17th. Take up the sword to venture to find your father's killer and clear yourself of frame murder and restore the honor of your family. So that's coming out.
But for who's that coming out for?
That's coming out for Game Pass. These are all things coming out for Game Pass.
Oh, that's just the Microsoft.
These are all things coming out on Game Pass. That's what I'm saying.
Pass.
Yeah,
Okay.
This month. And then on top of that, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy is now available on it. DLC and game updates. EA Sports NHL 24 Early Access trial available. Sea of Thieves Legend of Monkey Island just came out for them. And then
30 years old.
For Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Perks, Minecraft Realms is available until October 5th, which is, done. Overwatch 2 available until October 10th, which is just in 5 days. And that's it. So lots of stuff coming out on Game Pass this month. There were supposed to be more games, like City Skylines was supposed to come out, but it got pushed back until next year now.
But
for
that's
console.
fine. Do you understand how much stuff's going on with City Skylines 2 that has to work for console? I'm glad that they pushed it back. It's probably going to take them a little time to find out the shortcuts that you're going to need to use a controller for that game, or just let me plug in mouse and keyboard to my Xbox and just be done with it. And I'll play City Skylines on my Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lurker says,
like,
where's the high school dinosaur extinction dating sim? I think that already came out and bombed. I think it went extinct as fast as it came out,
Yeah.
Lurker.
Yeah, I think they came out already.
I think it did. I don't think it came to Game Pass, though. Another Microsoft story. We're trying to keep them all together. We got Bethesda's ready to support Starfield for at least 5 years. Todd Howard says about the team's recent titles were now influenced the plan for Starfield. So like the other games that keep going. He says one of these things that we learned from other previous games like Skyrim and Fallout is that people want to play them for a very long time. So Starfield, I would say, is the most intentional going into it, and that the game is people are going to play it for a very long time. He also goes on and says even at a game like Skyrim, which if you look at the launch was still a really, really big game. And if you look at it today, we added so much stuff and added mods and a much bigger game. And still the game that's played 12 years later is a large number of us. And I think that you can look at the audience and they get used to, they use the game and they usually want to plus one it. They want to add XYZ, and the developers, and they also want to add that. So they want stuff to happen to Starfield, and the developers want to add stuff to Starfield, and the modders want to add stuff to Starfield. Go ahead.
Timeout.
Yep.
Timeout. Let's not all of a sudden start want to claiming fame to all the reason why people were playing Skyrim past the due date of Skyrim. Let's back up the truck here. First of all, they didn't intentionally make that game so you could play it for 10 years. They just made an open world about Elder Scrolls, the universe,
and people wanted to play
about that particular property called Skyrim, right? And so in the beginning, you picked a character, and you only had so many points, so you put it towards the character that you were trying to grow out to be, right? Then after playing the game 6 or 7 times to play the different character acolytes that you could be, then they came out with the version of the version of Skyrim where they took off the skill cap and you could just put points to everything so you could become Jesus. Right now, when they did that, there was no sale of that game. They just took off the points. You just turned off the skill thing, and you can put as many points as you want. The DLCs that they made for it were 3 DLCs, and then that was the end of it, and they moved on. But people kept playing it. The reason why is because it was effing good. They wanted to keep playing it because all the things that happened inside the game were fun and inventive and made you want to role play and be in the game. They're still, let's not forget here, they're still mad they couldn't make more money on Skyrim, which is why they re-released it 3 times.
4 times, I think, right?
Three times.
At least 3 times.
Official 3 times.
Yeah, at least 3 times.
So let's not let them take credit for the modding community. Look, they didn't mod shit, right? The modders fixed the game for them, and the modders came out with mods for Skyrim. Just like the modders came out for mods for Fallout. Same thing. Their pitiful attempt to do mods and their whole mod store was a joke. Everyone knows it, and everyone kept going for the other mods, and they kept reiterating over the years. And you can tell by the way he talked about it. He's like, yeah, people are still playing Skyrim, and you can hear his teeth grind. You can hear his teeth grind just a little bit because he's still mad because he couldn't make any more money off of Skyrim. Right? So let's not pretend that they were trying to support Skyrim. They stopped supporting it exactly when they wanted to. 3 DLCs, really 2.5, because the third one wasn't really a DLC. So 2.5 DLCs, and we're done. And we moved on.
Right.
Well, now they want to.
Well, with Starfield,
they want to shoulder the burden. Oh, we kept Skyrim afloat for 10 years. You didn't keep shit afloat. The game was good on its own. That's what made it last 10 years.
They for Starfield, you definitely gonna think. Do you think we're going to get, well, obviously we have 1 expansion coming out. Do you think they're going to have more than 1 expansion each year? Or do you think it's going to be 1 expansion each year and then other things?
The difference between Skyrim and Starfield is specifically built to add to.
Correct.
Like
where Skyrim wasn't. Yeah.
Skyrim was like, we told the story's over. What else can we tell inside Skyrim without going to a different providence? And so we put some DLCs in it to keep the game going. This one, between the stories that are involved in the game that leave plot holes that you could fill in, you could just add in whatever you want. It's a fucking universe, an actual
non-stop, an actual universe.
So if you wanted to insert stuff like an outer world story inside of Starfield or whatever kind of sci-fi story you want to put in inside Starfield, you could. Right? It gives so many more possibilities. The problem is if you have to fix the other things along the way, like Cyberpunk did, like fix the UI, fix the inventory system. Like if you're going to release a DLC, don't release a DLC, and I'm still working with this half-broken shit. Right?
Fix all that stuff along with it.
You want to release a DLC, then that stuff has to come with it. Right? And we'll be in that game forever.
Yeah.
right? You'll get if Skyrim wasn't intentionally made to play 10 years, but everyone loved it so much, they did. But this one, you're trying to make it play for 10 years. That's the difference. See, when you try to do it like that one, might not work. Maybe Starfield doesn't get the same amount of time in the community as Skyrim did. Maybe. We don't know.
Right, because the first one was organic. Now you're trying to force it.
Yes.
Right.
You're forcing it.
Now you're trying to force it.
That's right.
Speaking of Starfield again, another one is a Starfield player has spent 90% of their 200-hour playthrough fully surveying every planet, but 2 are bugged. So he went to 1,000 planets, spent almost over 200 hours surveying all the planets except for 2 because they're bugged.
But he found out for Q&A.
That's right.
He found out the 2 planets that are bugged for Q&A. So Q&A doesn't have to do their job.
Right,
Congratulations.
So we'll do a round of applause for him for finding the 2 bugged planets.
Doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. Yeah. So he did 200 hours. 90% of the 200 hours is him.
So 100. So basically, like 180 hours.
Yeah.
He spent
185. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So we'll go.
Yeah, it is, Tyler. It is. Now think about that. Did he say he finished though? He didn't say he finished.
He's not finished. He just has.
He didn't say he's finished.
So
he just
far.
had.
Yeah. So far, he's had 200 hours.
I'm waiting. This guy might be in contention, but I'm waiting for the crazy nut job that said he's done every planet. I want to see how long. I want to see how long it takes. Well, they keep saying that there's 1,000 planets.
Yeah. He's apparently he went to all of them.
No, he didn't go to all of them.
Well, yeah, he went to all of them.
He didn't say all of them.
Yeah, no,
he
went.
All, he said all, or he said they just said that he spent
he fully
90%
surveying.
of his time.
No, played through fully surveying every planet, but 2.
Every planet.
Every planet.
Okay.
Hold on, let me read through to make sure.
Make sure.
Okay, dedicated Starfield player has put 180 hours in RPG into simply exploring every planet to the full. Starfield player a Doom Zero on Reddit truly lived out a constellation ambition and maximized. They apparently surveyed every planet that that he ever come across in Starfield to a full extent, completely seeing and doing everything that each planet has to offer.
All right. Well, then I don't think there's 1,000 planets then.
Planets scanned. Okay, hold on. Planets surveyed. Here's what he's got. Now I don't know.
Everybody said there's 1,000 planets. I don't think there's 1,000 planets.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, it says exploration. It says system visited 120. It says planets scanned 1,695. Which makes sense. Because every time you go to a tile, it counts as a planet. So you go to that same planet for multiple times. So it might take you 3 tiles to get all the stuff, right? Planets fully surveyed, 1,694. Planets landed on, 1,441. Flora fully scanned, 807. Fauna fully scanned, 794.
I stand corrected. It's crazy.
Station docked with 86 times. Ship docked with 22 times. So he barely what a noob. He barely docked with any ships out there.
Some guys don't like docking.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gone to every planet. Every planet.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay.
So basically, if you put your nose to the grindstone, it takes 200 hours to visit every planet.
No, Z, he did every planet. He's done every planet. Every planet he's came across, but he's done every planet. He came across all of them, and 2 of them are bugged.
Well,
so
don't leave me in the dark. Tell me which one, so I don't waste my time.
Maybe he says it. Maybe he says it in the thing. Let me say 180 Starfield itself. Apparently, they got slightly tricked up the sleeve of scanning efficiency. There are 5 skills that help reduce the time effort it takes to survey. Let's see what else. They've gotten everything. No. Oh wait, bugged. He does say it. Do you want to know?
Sure. I might not even make it there. Go ahead.
Masada 3 and Beta Maran 1. Those are the 2 you gotta stay clear of.
Okay.
Masada 3 and Beta Mara 1. Those are the 2 that are. He says that apparently there's fauna on both planets that just won't spawn, rendering the planet's quest a complete galactic scanning domination null and void. So that there's planets not spawning there, so you have to wait for a fix to happen.
I'm sure they'll get right on it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, they fixed the puddle, but they won't fix the thing that breaks the planet.
It's not really broken. It's not really broken.
You can't complete the scanning of the planet. It's broke. It's a broke mechanic. All right. Sony claims that the D-list of KOTOR remake trailer due to music license expiring. There was a rumor going around that KOTOR was being canceled, right? And they took down the trailer and they're like, see, this is what it is. But Sony came out and said that Sony attempted to clarify its recent removal of the social media post related to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. It said this week fans noticed that the tweet was primary PlayStation Twitter account announcing that the game in 2021 had been deleted, while the title's revealed trailer had also been made private. This combined with the press reports of the title's alleged troubled development led to speculation that the game could also be the latest casual of recruiting efforts of Aspire's parent company, Embracer Group. Now, Sony has issued a statement responding to the removal of a social media post related to the Knights of the Old Republic remake, claiming that it was due to a music licensing expired. So as part of the removal business or normal business, we delisted the assets of licensed music and then license expired, and Sony spokesperson said. As noted, the journalist said that it's not clear why the music is upcoming in the video game would expire, especially because the music featured in the trailer was from Star Wars movies and not licensed externally. So obviously, I think there's still going to be a little bit people talking about perhaps that KOTOR is in trouble, because there has been multiple reports that the game itself has been in turmoil. And then Embracer, we know, is also in turmoil. They're closing down productions. They lost $2 billion worth of money. They're trying to get rid of certain things. We speculated that they're going to probably sell off some stuff. So we don't know for sure if KOTOR is still happening or not. But with the problems that are reported, speculatively, and the rumor, and then this getting taken down, everyone kind of combined the whole thing, but Sony came out and said, oh, it's just licensing. That's the only reason the trailer got taken down. But we'll see.
Okay, but the issue is very simple. Are you or are you not going to make KOTOR the remake, period? You don't have to say when it's coming out or if it's not coming out. You just say, yeah, it's something that we're planning on doing. Yes. So then everybody just shuts up. And we just wait for them to tell me when KOTOR is about to come out. You don't go down the rumor mill and you talk about it for 3-4 weeks and say yes, no, maybe so. We made up some our own shit. Like,
I don't know if they should have announced it.
Is it something that they can pump out before they can pump out a new IP and make money on it? Is the answer yes? If the answer is yes, then yes, that game will come out.
I wish they didn't announce it at all. I wish they just let it be and if they were working on it in the background, then all of a sudden come out with it. Sort of like a Hi-Fi Rush type of thing did, where they just come out and say, hey, by the way, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. And they're like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like, we don't, like, that would have been great. But instead, they announced it, and then the first story out of the doc was, we're rewriting it. Why would you touch the story? The story is fine the way it is. Now you're rewriting the story. And then it came out that they were going to be like woke or whatever. Yeah. And then it was that they were having trouble, and that it was like it's delisted, and it's this whole thing where if they just stayed quiet, then we wouldn't have any of this. We wouldn't have any of this to report. Just shut up. Just shut up and make it.
I mean, if it's a remake, you don't have to rewrite anything.
Hey, all you do is remake the game.
If it's a remake, you don't have to rewrite anything. You just update the graphics and update the UI and move on with your life. But when they say the word rewrite, we have to rewrite stuff. Like, I'm already questioning what they're doing, because you don't have to rewrite shit.
Right. Well, here, speaking of other things that they should have said something. This is something they should have said when they happened, but they didn't know it happened. Sony confirms that the data breach impacting thousands in the U.S. So Sony came out earlier and said that no, it's speculative that we got breached, but now. It's actually Sony Interactive Entertainment has notified current former employees and family members about the cybersecurity breach that exposed personal information. The company sent the data breach notification to 6,800 individuals, confirming the intrusion occurred after the unauthorized party exploited zero-day vulnerability and moved it to transfer platform. So zero-day, a bunch of numbers, SQL injection flaw leads to remote code execution leveraged by the Clop ransomware as a large-scale attack that compromised numerous organizations across the world. Clop ransom gang added Sony Group to its list of victims in late June. However, the firm did not provide public statement until now. It happened in June. Personal information of you or your family members, and they're like, June, July,
it doesn't take that long.
August,
doesn't take like long to confirm anything.
September,
Yeah.
4 freaking months for them to go, oh yeah, by the way, it was breached.
The joke. That's a joke.
Yeah.
That's first of all, and I'm not picking sides here, right? It doesn't take 4 months to confirm anything, right?
Well,
and that's a lawsuit.
Right. According to the data breach notification, the compromise happened May 28th, 3 days before Sony learned the Progress software about the flaw, and also discovered in early June. On June 2nd, we discovered an unauthorized download immediately took the platform offline. An investigation was launched and assisted the external cybersecurity experts, and we also notified the law enforcement. Sony said the data breach notification. Sony says that the incident was limited to particular software platform. And then still sensitive information belonging to 6,791 people in the U.S. was compromised, and the firm was individually determined to expose details and listed them in each individual letter, but it was censored and notification sampled, submitted to the Office of the Maine Attorney General. Notification.
Okay, that should be top page all day long. Right? It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I don't care if I was one of those people or not. That's a lawsuit. Sony gets sued immediately. Right? That's the only way anybody wakes the fuck up and you change your tone, right? You sue them.
Yeah.
Right? And then they'll put security measures in, right? But you waited 4 months, right?
Yeah, 4 months. That's
insane,
a joke. Man.
The joke.
That's insane. Even if with someone's personal information from the company, even if you don't know for sure, you should go, hey, just in case, every one of the 6,791 people change your passwords, stuff, and notify the people immediately and say, hey, look, we don't know if it happened, but if it did, change all your stuff.
It's a lawsuit, dude. Do you know how long it takes? I'm hoping somebody else in chat knows somebody who's had their identity stolen. Because I do. I know someone had their identity stolen.
You know too, because I've gotten my identity stolen.
Okay. No, but you didn't lose your house over it, right? You didn't fall through on the hole where you got screwed so badly that your life was over.
No,
right?
but
I know someone whose life is over because their identity was
I've gotten
stolen.
screwed where people have opened up phones in my name.
Yeah.
They bought a car underneath my name. I've had things where I've get letters in the mail and stuff still, and I'm like, it's not me. I have a letter that says it's not me. Someone stole my identity. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, right. So that's a lawsuit. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's not just an oopsie doodle. It's not like, oops, I left my credit card on the counter and someone picked it up. That's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? They don't care. Right? This is the issue. They don't care. They're in it to win it, and they don't care. And so the only way that stops is if there's a lawsuit. And I'm not talking about one lawsuit. I'm talking about out of the 6,000, 3,000. 3,000 lawsuits, I'm suing you.
You're right.
Because you don't have your shit together. Because this is not the first time it's happened. This is the third time it's happened.
It's amazing to me. A lot of these internet companies or these big corporations don't have, a better security system, especially when everything's online now. And it's amazing to me.
It infuriates me. It infuriates me to the point where this is why I don't buy a lot of stuff. This is why you think I hold grudges, but like, if they don't care, like if all you care about for me is me giving you money, if that's all you care about, then I don't care about you. Like you don't care about a good product. You don't care about protecting my rights. You don't care about protecting my privacy. You don't care. You care about you want my money, but everything else falls by the wayside. So this is why I don't own any Sony products. That's why I don't buy Sony stuff. That's why I don't buy a lot of PlayStation games. Why I don't have a PlayStation. Right? I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
Like I draw lines in the sand and I say that's the line. I'm not fuck you.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
And it's just going to get worse. Bro. It's just going to get worse and worse because everyone's moving. Everything's online. Everything's online. Your whole identity is online. Yeah. So
losing your identity is going to be like a normal thing, and they're going to tell you about 5 years from now that the average person loses their identity about 3 times in their life.
Yeah.
That's the kind of statistical data you're going to hear.
Yeah.
Like the average American loses their identity 3 times in their lifetime. Don't let that happen to you. Whereas before it was like missing credit card, get it mixed in the mail, credit off some stuff, no problem. Losing your life 3 times. That's mental.
Yeah. Next story we're talking about, still sticking with Sony. Why PlayStation fans are cheering the CEO departure. Jim Ryan oversaw a successful launch of PlayStation 5, his 4-year tenure, and also merited several flubs. This is by Jason Schreier. He says, why gamers hate PlayStation boss. Video game enthusiasts don't normally care too much about the exclusive executive shuffling. But news of the retirement of Jim Ryan boss Sony PlayStation evoked the odd reaction from gamers. He says, when I broke the news of Ryan's departure Wednesday afternoon, I was mildly surprised that the barrage of celebrity gifts and memes that the PlayStation fans declared that they were also thrilled to see him go. After all, he oversaw the successful launch of all PlayStation 5 and the release of the hit games such as God of War, Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and he was doing a decent job. Yet when Ryan's 4 years tenure also married a controversy in parts because of the tendency he left up his foot to insert into his mouth, Ryan, a marketing guy who started on Sony in 1994, worked at various roles across the organization, mostly in Europe, before taking the role of president in 2019. He contrasts a previous face of PlayStation, such as the video game from the predecessors. He said Ryan came off as many fans as a slick corporate businessman, and that he's also wasn't ranking up, embracing, was embarrassing. Okay, he says at one point he infuriated retro game fans and by saying that the old PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games looked ancient. Like, why would anyone play this? Another time, he touted that the game's accomplishments in Europe and Asia. Ryan claimed that the people had never played games before PlayStation in the Middle East, which was false. Perhaps his biggest flub came in 2022 after he just had the Supreme Court overturn Roe versus Wade, rather than taking the stance of abortion rights. Yeah, it's just another political stuff. So people are excited for him to leave, which is kind of weird because PlayStation, and again, I'm not one or the other, but like fans of PlayStation, like say PlayStation's the best ever, yet their president, as soon as he leaves, they're like, oh, good riddance. And it's just like, I don't.
First of all, he was their golden boy. So what people were happy to see him go?
But that's what I'm saying. Just, I guess, the internet, right? And here's what I hate about like social media and whatever. Like, one person says something and like 100 people like it, and yet there's 122 million that own a console, and like 100 likes and one person saying something on the internet, it's like everyone hates him. And I'm just like, does it work that way? Does it? Like, I'm confused by this.
With all the information we have, that what he did over the years and what happened in the last year and a half, okay, we all know pretty much it was time for him to go. His ideas don't match the ideas of the Sony top upper echelon. They want to go live service. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to do single player. They know that's not the future. He says, I'm too old to fight this, and so it's time for me to step down. When you're that high up in the corporate food chain, right, you've done your bit for king and country. You have made Sony billions of dollars. You got paid accordingly. You made Sony billions of dollars, right? Your ideas conflict with their ideas now for the future. You spent your life inside this industry. You did your job. Now you move away.
Right.
The greatest thing about him moving away is all the negative. I said it before. All the negative shit goes along with him, right? Because if they really knew that he was going to step down, let's put it this way. If they really knew he was going to step down, there would already be somebody in place to take over, and they don't have it.
Well, they're not doing it until the next year. The fiscal year ends on March 30th of 2024, so April 1st is when he's being replaced. So
that's fine. What I'm telling you is, when someone gets ready to leave,
they're not going to announce it.
There's always somebody waiting. That's the next person. They don't have it.
No, what I'm saying to you is they do have it. They don't want to announce it because they don't want to give the person a raise because they save money. Hence why he's there.
It's not a raise. He's not getting a raise. You don't get to be put in the position until you're actually in the position.
No,
they'll tell you who the guy's job's going to be.
But no, that's why they're having a person intermediate between, because the person that's there is just like, yeah, we're not going to hire anybody. We're not going to say anything, because if they tell you who it is and the person that takes his place, that person's taking his place, and that's who, because he's already gone. He's already gone. He's effective October 1st. He doesn't leave until April 1st, right?
That's fine.
But that on the books, they're not telling you who the next person is.
Right?
Yeah,
that's great. But it doesn't, you would still know who the replacement
is. They know.
You would know.
You don't know. We don't know. Right? They know.
They don't know.
They know.
They don't know.
They know who's taking over. Of course they know.
They're working on it.
No, they know. They just don't want to tell us, which is fine.
All the leaks that could possibly happen of all the stuff, security breakdowns in Sony. You don't think someone knows who the guy's going to be? Who the next guy's going to be? Well, you're actually serious about this.
No, what I'm saying is they know. We don't know yet. Okay. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
They could have someone, just the leak's not out yet of who it is.
No, they wouldn't, Cujo. They wouldn't announce it because it would affect stock prices.
That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't announce it. That's what I'm saying. The fiscal year ends on March 30th, 2024. They're not going to announce the next person because fucking millions of dollars change up and down based on the stock market because of it. They're not going to say shit, and that's why he resigns on April 1st, not March 30th, not before, because the fiscal year ends on March 30th.
So he's just a lame duck CEO. Is that what you're trying to tell me now? He's just a lame duck guy, just there.
That's just it. He's the Queen of England. He's the president of the United States. He's just a prop that's there, and people behind the scenes. The corporate entity is running the business behind. Yes, that's exactly it. Not announcing has a bigger impact. This is why listen. Do you understand? This is why they're not announcing who it is, and that's why they announced him leaving on April 1st. He's still there. He's still in the company. He's still there till the end of the fiscal year on April 1st. It's the first day of 2025 year.
Then why say is he stepping down at all? Why just be quiet until you're ready to change over?
Because they want the stocks to adjust now, okay, before the end of the year, because the holidays are coming. This is why they promoted the portable the portal. This is why they promoted the PSR what the hell is it called? The PlayStation VR 2, okay? The PSVR 2, okay? Because that leading into the holidays goes, oh no, the leader's leaving. Oh, stock's going down. Oh, they're coming out with new electronics. Oh, stock goes up. Oh, they're coming out with a new refresh. Oh, the stock goes up. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Example, the U.S. stock market changes so much when the new president is chosen. Yeah, and this is exactly why they're coming out with all their peripherals now. And by the way, Chris D&D, Todd, thank you very much for the becoming a member. So this is why they're making all the sales now because of the holidays. Oh, Jim Ryan's leaving. Oh no, what's going to happen? Don't worry, this is why he announced 2 days before he announced his retirement. The bedrock is still single-player games. Oh, by the way, we're doing live service games, 12 games in 3 years. Oh, I'm retiring. Oh, all this stuff is happening. All this new stuff's coming out. Oh, when's he leaving? April 1st? Oh, conveniently, the beginning of the next quarter of the year, the new fresh year. To be fair, the stocks fluctuate in the middle of the petrol rate. They fluctuate all the time. That's what stocks do. So that's the last story we have for Sony. All right, let's talk about. I don't have a thing, but let's talk about Force Gaming. Right, he has a video that he came out with talking about how broke the review process is. Right, and in his video, he talks about how it's impossible for somebody to get a code. Right. Especially 3 days before a game comes out. He says bare minimum, you need 5 days, 7 days to really put the time in. He goes, by the time I put 10 to 12 hours a day in playing a game, he goes, and I got about 30 hours in. He goes, and then do it. He's like, if it's 2 weeks ahead of time, he's like, you get about 60 hours, 70 hours in. He goes, in certain games, you can't get enough time because it's an open world game or whatnot. He's like, it's just different for all the games, right? He says that you just don't have enough time. By the time you play the game, then take the footage and go through the footage to then edit the thing and then write the script and then do all the stuff, right? And then really think about it, right? He says it's impossible for these people to come out with reviews, right? He says that he likes reviews that are more buy, wait, recommend type of stuff than the actual numbers. Because the numbers, all they do is basically put it out there so they can be the first one out there. But they can't put enough time in no matter what the game is because just look at us, right? If you put in 10 hours on Dark Tide, right, today and tomorrow, right, and then you got to get a review out by the next day, but you only have 30 hours, you don't know what the full game is. You don't know what the end game's like. You don't know what each of the classes are like. And if you play a little bit in each class, you're not going to know what each class is at the end game stuff. So you don't know all the stuff, right? And that's just realistic. So he says that a lot of things are broke. The number system, he says, is absolutely broke. He goes, because back in the day, it was broken down into, where
Categories.
three points would go towards graphics, 1 point or 2 points would go towards gameplay and soundtrack or whatever else, and then they would change and adjust 0.2, 0.3 here for whatever, right? And it's like, it's stupid because the scale of a 1 to 10, right? No one's using the first 5, right? 1 through 5, no one's using, okay? And no game is going to get a 5 because no one's going to review a shitty game like that. You know what I mean? So they're in the 7s. Like, so 7 is basically a 1. Okay, and
But we all know that 7s are
I'm
trash.
saying this, not him, right? But 7 is like a 1, and an 8 is like a 5, and a 9 and a 10 is a 10. You know what I'm saying? So anything that's a 9 or a 10 is like God's gift to gaming. An 8 is like mid, right? And then 7 is basically don't touch it because it's garbage, right? That's the way reviews go now. So when someone sees a 7, they're like, "Oh, dude, fucking garbage. Don't touch it." 8, oh, it's trash. And it's absolutely ridiculous the way it is, right? Gaming as a whole is subjective. But the person that's playing the games, the person that's even reviewing the game might not even be proficient in that game. He says, what about if a person's played Path of Exile for 10 years and then all of a sudden Diablo 4 comes out and then they're comparing everything to Diablo 4 to Path of Exile? He's like, all they know is Path of Exile, and now they're reviewing Diablo, and now it doesn't make it doesn't hit them because it's not Path of Exile. So they give it bad points because of based on this game, not because of the game itself, right? He says, so where does it go down the line? Like, where do we take it? Jedi Survivor comes out. Are you judging Jedi Survivor on the game itself, or are you judging it on all other games that are like Jedi Survivor? Or are you judging it on the past game of Jedi Fallen Order? Starfield, are you judging it from other Bethesda games, or are you judging it from all other RPG games? Or you see what I'm saying? It's like this never-ending rotation of nothing is real. Nothing is right.
The worst part, and I do mean the worst part is they're actually saying out loud that the user score or the Metacritic score or the IGN score is based on a bonus and whether or not people get fired or not. Like, you're basing people's jobs on what their Metacritic score or what IGN gives it as a review. If you don't hit like an 89
they
or
lose
91,
bonuses.
you guys don't get bonuses.
And they shut down the studio.
You don't think there's some kind of fucking shenanigans going on in the background if you're tying the people's jobs and bonuses to a review score? Come on, bro. Come on. That's a joke.
He also says
that's a joke of the highest magnitude. So I'm sorry. I'm a developer. I've been working on busted my ass for 8 years. And then 3 weeks before the game comes out, like, yeah, everybody, we're getting ready to give you some bonuses. Woo! Gonna buy yourself the Gainies. But wait, in case Todd from IGN doesn't give you an 8.8, you don't get shit.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
And
that's a joke.
He also
That's a joke.
says that people that give games a 1, like a review, he's like, bro, this is what Force Gaming says. He's like, have you played a game before? He's like, there's 30 games come out a day on Steam that are 1s. Okay. He goes, a game, I don't care how bad it is. Even Redfall's not a 1. Okay. Right. Even
Redfall's a solid 4. Come on.
Right. It's not a 1. Okay, and then you look at a game like Anthem. Anthem didn't get bad reviews, and it's a shit game because, right, like, that's a good game. But people make it like it's a trash game. It should never even have made the point of light of day, okay? And it's just ridiculous the way it works because especially when it's dependent on Metacritic. Metacritic is the thing that if the game doesn't hit a certain rating, that the whole company doesn't get a actual bonus. Okay,
that's a joke.
And then they can shut down the studio. So your life depends on if it's an 8.5 or an 8, right?
Or how many bots get on that line that day to score out the Metacritic score.
0.5 of a thing shifts if you get a bonus or not. Okay, it's insane.
First of all, that incentive is criminal, right? A bonus is tied to sales. If we sell a certain amount of games, we get bonuses. That's how that works. Not based on a fucking arbitrary score. That's complete lunacy, right? And criminal to say that to your actual staff. And then, by the way, in case you didn't get the bonus, oh, by the way, Metacritic score was low. You don't get the bonus. Oh, we didn't sell that many. Oh, so guess what? Come January,
you're fired.
You gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Gotta go.
Right.
Come on, man.
This is why I like Force Gaming. right? He does reviews, and he said that the way reviews should go in the future is that they should be post-launch reviews, not ahead of views. Because he said post-launch reviews, someone can give a more in-depth of what it is, and people are just looking to buy a game. You don't need to buy a game day one, right? Now, obviously, if you're looking to buy a game day one, you can go watch live streams of people playing the game and seeing and then ask questions and whatnot. He goes, but people that are giving pre-launch games reviews, they're doing an injustice to the game because they're not playing the whole thing. Remember a couple years ago, the girl that played the game, but she just didn't like the building mechanic in the game, so she didn't play it. She just played the one part of the game but didn't play the other one. She's like, well, I just didn't like it. Well, then you can't review the game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a journalist, in my opinion, this is not what Forrest was saying at all, right? In my opinion, if you're a journalist, okay, right? If you choose to play said game, then you have to play that game until that game is done. And every aspect of it, and then given your written thing, non-biased opinion of the game. Not that it didn't have a system in it because you didn't like it, but it didn't have a system. Just judge the game on the game. Give the information to the person that's going to buy the game, and then that person goes, hey, you know what? I think that looks interesting. I'm going to buy it, right? So people like ACG, people like Skill Up, people like Force Gaming, there's a couple of other people out there that every time they give a review, they just give their review, meaning they go, hey, I played it for this many hours, okay? But this is not an official review because they're not journalists. They're bloggers, okay? They play it for 10 hours. They play it for 20 hours. They play it for 100 hours. They go, this is my 100-hour thoughts. Let me know what this is what I played. This is what I do. This is what happens in the game. Oh, and I recommend it. I recommend it. It's a recommend. Or it's a recommend that you wait. Or wait for it to go on sale. Like, these are things they tell people, not it's a piece of shit. It's a 1 out of 10, right? Like, they don't say that. They say it's a recommended. It's worth the $40.
Or I cannot recommend this game.
Or I cannot recommend this game at this time, right? Because if they get early copies, they might have problems with the servers. They're like, that's a little too janky. I can't recommend it at this time, right? So Forrest went on and said what people should do, and I've said this, I've been preaching this for years, right? That you find someone that you like. Okay, you find someone that you do agree with, because if he plays games that you play games, then you're going to kind of align with that, right? Find somebody that you like, listen to them. Then go watch 2 other ones, okay? And listen to 2 other people that you don't like and see if they bring up the same points that the person that you like. And then make an honest decision for yourself. But this whole industry is just screwed, right? Then people, they cry because they don't get a review code, right? And then people, because they get...
Stop right there. Stop right there, right? If you're in the business of reviewing games, regardless of what level you're at, whether you're a streamer or if you're an actual outlet, IGN, whatnot, okay, you don't get codes.
Right.
Nobody gets codes. If your job is to review games, you go out and buy the fucking game. It's part of your cost of your job, and you go buy the fucking game and you review the game.
But Sarge,
right?
if I don't get the code early, I can't play the game.
Because giving out codes, it sends a bias across the board. They want to say good things because they got the free code, because they have to say more good things, otherwise they don't get the next code. It's all a joke. It's corruption at its most basic level. We're doing it on the corporate level, and we're doing it on a governmental level. We don't need to do it on the gaming level as well, right? If your job is to review games, you buy the fucking game and you review it. You don't get a fucking code. Nobody gets codes.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if it influences what the number is going to be. Nobody gets free shit. Right? You want to give codes out to like your friends and family who want to play the game? That's great. But if you're reviewing the game for marketing purposes or for advertisement revenue or whatever else the fuck you're doing, you buy the fucking game.
Here's what now everything's digital, right? You don't have to wait for a game to get shipped to you or anything. You could literally get the game just downloaded to your... They do it right now. They download it to certain people's systems. They get it 2 weeks early. I think they should have a business account, and they have to pay for the game to get it early. Okay?
Period.
Right. They pay for it. They don't get handed a code to review the game. And if you do review the game company is going to sell copies regardless if it's day 1 or if it's day 10 or day 100. Okay? Once the game is launched on that day, it doesn't make all its money on day 1 and never make any money ever again.
It never should.
Right.
It never should.
Right. So if it comes out on a Tuesday and then everyone can buy it that day and no one buys it except for the people that want to review the game. So let's say 500,000 people buy the game on day one, and then they play the game, and then a week later they go, "Hey, here's my review," and everyone goes, "Oh, okay, I'll wait now." Oh, it's 3 weeks after. They're like, "All right, I'm gonna buy the game." Companies shouldn't be like, "All right, we got to rush to get to this one day. It's launch day. We sold it. It didn't sell. That's it. It's over, guys. Lock up shop."
But that's
how
they act.
Yeah.
But that's how they act. Because they didn't make all their money back in the first 3 days of a release of a game, everyone talks like the game is over. You guys are living in fairyland, right? Products were released, and it's lifetime of being sales. That's how it worked.
Yeah.
It's lifetime.
Yep.
It's lifetime. How long is that? You're still making money on it. These guys want their money back immediately. Immediately. They want pre-orders. They want the codes. I want everything up front because I don't want to have to wait for my work to actually mean anything. I want it now. Right. So like the Cyberpunk shenanigans where the game was a trash fire, but made all its money back in the first day.
Yep.
So what kind of precedent does that set? Everyone gets to run amok and be a fucking, like a hoo-ha. Like, woo! Let's make whatever, right? How many scams have you guys seen, right? Yeah. Where people want get money up front, everything up front, the game doesn't come out at all. Guy takes $8 million, puts it in his suitcase, goes to Tahiti. Right? Where's my game?
Yep.
Oh, what game? I know what you're talking about. Oh, the pre-order stuff I gave you this money, this money, that money.
Yeah, people forget
Kickstarter money.
Star Citizen, right? Star Citizen. His brother took $8 million and ran. Two what?
2 million.
No, it was $8 million. He took $8 million.
It was $2 million.
It was $8 million.
He took $8 million and ran.
$8 million and ran.
It's a joke, dude. That is the most lawful scam ever. Is still this game, because it's not out.
Is it though?
It's not out.
Is it the greatest scam? There's a
lot
of other games that come out that's a scam.
It's legal. It's legal. It's a legal scam. It's brilliant. People are handing over $25K to buy a ship in the virtual world. It's brilliant, bro. Brilliant. It's almost like the little microtransactions from the mobile games, right? Where you know you're being screwed, but you still give them the 20, 50, $100 a week. You're still doing it. Like, this is on a grotesque scale. I want the Starship Enterprise, 25 grand. Or I want the biggest ship in the universe that has 40,000 crew that can mine planets in an hour, 50 grand. Like, you have to think about the kind of burnt money that these guys have that have nothing else to do with it.
Yeah.
That you're going to spend 25 grand on a spaceship. Yeah. Amazing. So it's legal. It's a legal scam. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Well, going from the game reviews are broke. It just broke. It's broken the system. It's a broke system. Okay. We go to another broke system, which is GameStop. Right? GameStop is broke. And I have to say, Sarge, we've been saying for years, and I can't believe this fucking place is still open. We said years ago it would close up. Okay. We thought it was going to close during the pandemic. Nope. It stayed alive. It's still going. It almost closed down. But so much so that it had that stock market scam that went on. Now there's a movie about it. Okay. The movie is Dumb Money, I think it's called. No, what is it called? The movie that's coming out for the GameStop, that's what it's called, Dumb Money, right?
I thought it was Dumb Money.
Yeah, I thought it was
Dumb Money.
Right? So that's coming out. So the GameStop new CEO, Ryan Cohen, aims to radically transform amidst financial woes. Okay. Now, obviously, have you been in a GameStop recently, Sarge?
A what?
A GameStop. Have you been in a GameStop anytime?
Are you being serious? Seriously?
I went to a GameStop a couple months ago.
I already told you this horror story. The last time I was in a GameStop,
Marvel, yeah, the Marvel.
I bought Marvel's Avengers.
Gotcha. You still got the pins? You still got the pins?
Yeah, I got the pins, baby. Got the pins.
So GameStop's iconic video game retail chain's undergoing radical transformation as the chairman of the billion-dollar founder, Chewy, Ryan Cohen, takes on the helm of CEO. His first email to staff, Cohen emphasized the necessity of extremely frugal and warned against the time wasters as the company grapples with financial challenges. Despite Cohen's involvement with GameStop since 2021, the company has struggled to achieve profitability. The efforts diversity of including ventures into online deliveries, NFTs, and non-gaming products have not yet substantial returns yet. GameStop profitability remains hampered by industry-wide shift from physical game sales to digital downloads. Like, how did you not see this coming? I saw this coming. Maybe if the CEO just watched our show here, Sarge, they would have noticed back in 2016 when we said what was happening. I just don't understand. Go ahead, Sarge. Sarge is having a little PTSD here. You all right, Sarge? Like,
if you run a retail store that sells video games, and you've sold video games for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay. The product in which you sell can now be sold direct by
To consumers.
the consumer.
Straight to
Direct.
them. Yeah.
We don't need you anymore. So I don't understand what the fucking discussion is.
It's like a waiter being at McDonald's.
You are basically the equivalent of a Spencer's. That's what GameStop has become. And for those of you that know what I'm talking about, you know. And for those of you that don't, you don't need to know. It's a good reference. People who know who Spencer's are, you'll know. It's over. You can strangle the cat or you can shoot the cat, okay? But the cat's going to die.
Right.
This isn't one of those Schrodinger's boxes episodes, right? The fucking cat's dead, okay? How it happens is what happens. Just bow out gracefully, right? What are you going to sell?
He's selling right now.
Tell me.
If you walk into a
Tell
GameStop,
me what you're going to sell.
if you walk into a GameStop right now, it's pop figures. It's pop the Funko Pops. That's all it is.
Great.
It's Funko Pops.
That's
and
called
like
a
gaming.
fucking Spencer's.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's a Spencer's for video games. Yeah.
Right. That's all it is. Right. You're a store at the flea market now. That's what you are.
Mo, you can't like GameStop and be a Game Pass member. That goes against itself completely.
I mean, it's just over. Like I don't like even somebody who's in business. Like I understand they had that wild ride with the GameStop stock thing craziness because they wanted to put the thumb up the ass of the stockbrokers, which they did. I wanted to applaud them, by the way. Right? Wall Street Bets did a number on them where actually a bank had to bail out their own little bank, and otherwise they were going under. Bow out. It's over. Right? What is your product? Like this is like business 101. What is your product? Well, the product I have is something that everyone can get directly digitally. Well, then they don't need you.
I love when you go to GameStop.
You don't need to exist. You don't need to be there.
I love going to GameStop and I'm like, hey, do you guys have this game? They're like, no, but we can order it for you. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I can literally just get it off my console. I don't need
you think I'm happy about it? I like hard copies. I like owning something. I don't want digital everything, but I can't fight this with a bazooka. I can't fight this.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's happening very quickly. Most quickly that's ever happened to ever.
Do you know that there's mom and pop shops that are just selling older, like Nintendo, Atari, other systems, past systems, and they're doing better than GameStop?
Yeah, because it's a hard copy of a game.
Yeah. GameStop is like I just said, it's like having a waiter at McDonald's. Like a person can come into McDonald's and just order their own food and then sit down. They don't need a waiter to go, want me to get your food, sir? No, I literally just ordered it and just grabbed it myself. Let me grab that for you. Let me grab that food for you and bring it over to your table. Like, what are we talking about? We don't need you, waiter.
How's our timetable? Like, what did we say about GameStop with 3 years? Did we say 3 years or 4 years?
What
did we say?
It was supposed to close in 2021.
No, we said 3 years.
We
I'm
did.
pretty sure we said 3 years.
We did in 2017.
No, we didn't say in 17.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
What happened? No, we said it after the crash thing that happened.
No. We said 2017. We said it would take 5 years, is what we said. Okay.
All right.
And when 2020 came and the pandemic came, it reset everything because people were, because they didn't close. Remember, GameStop wouldn't close. Right. They were still selling games because it was a necessity.
That was like the life preserver.
Yes,
it was
like
the
necessity.
Life preserver.
Then Microsoft came in and helped them by giving them all new computers or whatever, right? And then they did the shift where they were going to make all the GameStops in selected areas as a test, where they were going to make them into like gaming cafes, right?
Do you believe a company who's now making 100% profit on their digital goods wants to have a middleman again? Do you think that that's an actual conversation we're going to have? Do you think the GameStop new CEO, the genius, I don't care if he's fucking the new Einstein, right? Do you believe that a company is going to give up their 100% profit on a product?
No.
There's no going back here, right? So GameStop can turn into the corporate version. Hear me out. GameStop can turn into the corporate version of the old store games, and they'll start buying out the mom and pop stores that sell all the old games and cartridges, and then that becomes GameStop. and they can still sell all the controllers and stuff, right? You have a lot of mom and pop places that have all these games, and then GameStop will just go online and start buying and offering money for every game everybody has sitting on the shelf that no one plays anymore, and they'll get a whole bunch of inventory, and then they'll have a store, one store in every state. 50 stores, that's it. It's the store you go to get all the nostalgia games from back in the day, and GameStop will live on like a zombie. But other than that, they're gone. They're done.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that they've lasted this long. And so
well, it's because they had a 3-year reprieve for nonsense. That's why. You're trapped in your house, you're playing something. So
Mbu has a question. He says, what's your thoughts on the strange quietness from Sony and its fans regarding Gran Turismo selling limited stock digital cars? I don't know.
There's too much other stuff. There's too much stuff going on right now.
I don't know.
So that story is buried.
I don't know anything about that story, so I don't know anything about it. So I'm assuming you're saying Gran Turismo, the video game, has a limited stock of digital cars, so they're making them like NFTs, where
FOMO.
Yeah.
Like a FOMO car.
So there's only 100 Porsche 911s that are created in a digital world. Is that what you're saying to me?
You can only buy that car for a limited time, like maybe a week or two, and then the car goes away.
Well, no. Is it a limited time or is it a limited amount of cars? There's a difference. Limited time means anybody can buy it within that time frame. But if there's only 100 cars, the first 100 people can only buy the car. Right.
But that would even be more sadistic.
But that's what I'm asking. Right? Is it where it's running for like a week and it's like a season pass and it ends, or is it there's only 100 cars made and 100 people limited stock? That's
Ambu. You're talking about limited stock? Are you being serious right now?
See, I didn't know anything about that. Both, I'll
never touch it. I'll never touch a Gran Turismo game again.
I'm okay if they do like, hey, in this season, this car's coming out and you can't get it. Like Forza, Horizon does this. Horizon does this like during the season. Like if you want this car, you got to play this week to earn the points to get this car, but it's a limited time and you have an option to get it. But to say that there's only 5 of these cars, first 5 people to pay $100 gets this car.
It's called baiting, bro.
Yeah, that's
called baiting.
If that's a thing, that's insane. That's insane. But I guess they gotta make their money, right? They gotta keep their lights on. Call of Duty continues to aggressively Fortnite-fication with new skins from Diablo, Spawn, and He-Man. Okay, so I don't know if this is this the Warfare event? Let me close.
I'm gonna have hypertension before this show's over.
You're gonna why are you gonna have hypertension? Hold on, let me find this.
What the fuck is He-Man gonna do in Call of Duty?
Hold on, this. I think this is the
Tell me
the
honestly, what's He-Man gonna do in Call of Duty?
He's cool. He's He-Man. He's running around with
Kevin
stuff.
Smith already fucked up He-Man. I don't need Call of Duty fucking up He-Man as well.
Let me see. You got Spawn. You got Spawn coming to Call of Duty. You got Diablo. Lilith herself is coming. No, she's not Diablo, but Lilith herself is coming to Call of Duty. Is He-Man also coming to Call of Duty? Is He-Man actually going to be in Call of Duty? Here's the thing. I am completely and utterly out. Right? I'm not the clientele anymore for Call of Duty. Okay, I don't care for Call of Duty, but I also don't hate Call of Duty blindly. I just don't partake in Call of Duty. I said they lost their identity years ago. I said Call of Duty's lost its identity years ago. I said once you go down that rabbit hole, I was like anything's possible, and here it is. Right? They put Godzilla and King Kong events inside of Call of Duty. Okay, like last year. Now you can be He-Man, Lilith, and Spawn. Cool, right? I mean, that's fun, I guess. But that's not what Call of Duty is in my opinion. But hey, if you want to get that, by all means, go ahead and have a blast. It says that in-game, YouTuber Instagram is pushing vertical short videos and trying to keep up with TikTok. It also seems that Call of Duty wants to emulate Fortnite as a game where you can go Goku doing grindy, or Call of Duty will be also introducing skins straight out of Diablo 4 and others of fictional universes upcoming Halloween theme season. And on top of that, they're doing Lady Diablo, Lilith, the faceless angel guy named Inaris is not focused on the faceless angel guy named, and also Ash Williams from Evil Dead, Skeletor from He-Man, from Todd McFarlane's Spawn, and I think that's it. So they're bringing all those people in. You get to be Skeletor, not He-Man. It's Skeletor from He-Man, but you get to be Skeletor, not He-Man. So yeah, that's coming in. What do you think, Sarge? Do you? I want you to answer it from a gamer, not from you, right? So like, would you be interested?
Oh, okay.
Would you be interested in being Skeletor in Call of Duty?
I think that as a gamer, I think Call of Duty, because they turned it into an annual franchise, are running out of ideas on how to keep this franchise just making money the same way that they always made money. And so they're using whatever they can possible to use as a placement for skins in the game that you have to buy in order to keep the game going.
Right.
No game, and I mean this sincerely, no game should have an annual. No game. Even the sports games shouldn't have an annual.
Well,
right? You should have a roster update,
right,
but not an annual for those. But for Call of Duty was just like anything else. It was a game that came out, story-driven, well done, and then after you played the game, there was a multiplayer at the end that kept the game going until the next game came out. 3-year spread, 4-year spread was fine. This whole annual thing to try to turn this into like their own Madden all the time and then try to monetize Call of Duty like it's a Madden game. As a gamer, I'm out. I don't care. Do you know the selection of first-person shooters that I have, right? I don't give two shits about Call of Duty anymore, right? Did I one time? Yes. It was one of the greatest games ever, right? Now, you're basically, it's just like a walking piggy bank that you're supposed to pet when he walks by. Oh, it's him again. Got to put my dollar in. Like, he walks by, and you're supposed to pony up because Activision made a game. Yeah. You're supposed to praise them, right? No game should be an annual. And they lose their way. Why? Because you can't make a game like that into an annual, right? You're going to run out of ideas, right? That's why the quick fix back in the day was zombify everything. Put zombies in it.
There's zombies in...
Keep the game going. Zombies, right?
There's zombies in Battlefield now.
Of course there's zombies in Battlefield.
So... Between, Activision right now has a plan for the next 4 years. Activision has already planned out its next 4 years worth of Call of Duty games. Senior company official has revealed that a bit of an insight into the best-selling video game franchise of all time. It was shared as part of the much wider reflection of the series' past, present, and future. Now, between Modern Warfare 2 breaking one of the franchise's records after another, Call of Duty Mobile, all right, continuing to dominate download charts, over 50 million people are playing the mobile Call of Duty, and the tablets for
hold there. That's a good point. Let's hold there, right? I'm pretty sure nobody in this room is playing Call of Duty on mobile. Is anybody in here playing on mobile? Just curious.
I
put your hand up.
I think maybe maybe someone tried it, but I don't think anyone's playing it.
So now, thinking about that for a moment, I'm pretty sure nobody in this chat room is playing on mobile. Okay, thinking about that now. Thinking about it. Think about clearly now.
Yep.
If 50 million people are playing Call of Duty on mobile right now, right? Who do you think the population base is 5 and 10 years from now, right? Why do you think everything is going cloud? Why everything is going on the Apple phones and the games are going to be on the phones? If you're playing Call of Duty on the phone, right? That's your bread and butter for you, kid. That's where you live.
I've said this for years.
That's where you live.
Yeah. The people that are playing on mobile right now are not the same people that are playing in VR headsets or not playing on the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox.
A console.
Yeah.
The two guys that are still arguing about the console war. Yeah.
Like it's just amazing to me. As far as the next franchise, Activision president Rob Kostick, is it Kostick? Revealed the publisher already mapped out all future Call of Duty games up till 2027. We're constantly in our planning phase, and executives said that recent interview with VentureBeat elaborating at the point that explaining how Activision is constantly communicating with a massive focus group on top of listening to players' feedback in order to decide where to take the franchise next.
Yep.
So they officially acknowledge that the approach hasn't always been perfect, but instead is also still serving as a company well, allowing Call of Duty games to meet and surpass expectations more often than not. And that's it. That should be the big thing, right? Surpass expectations more than not, right? And that's it.
So what you're saying is they're able to book ahead for the next 4 years, all the Call of Duties they're going to make for the next 4 years. But we can't get a studio to agree on finishing a game in 5 years. one game in 5 years.
Right.
They've got 4 games in the next 4 years.
Yeah.
All the cards are
1
already
year,
set. We're
yeah.
set in stone. We got it down. We're good. Like, really? Right?
Yep.
I can only imagine what the next 4 cards are going to be, guys.
Well,
how exciting is that?
I have a view for you, Sarge. Here's one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 reveals open world zombies with massive map, vehicles, and more. Activision reveals gameplay trailer for Call of Duty.
It's called Battlefield.
Open world zombies mode. Call of Duty next event. Activision has revealed 2008 Call of Duty World of War was the first title to introduce zombies mode, which went to become part of the many games that followed. Now, while in 2019 Call of Duty Modern Warfare and 2022 Modern Warfare 2 didn't include zombies mode, but Modern Warfare 3 is bringing the popular mode back with an open world twist. Activision has also promised to keep some of the core zombie features intact, with the Treyarch working closely with Sledgehammer Games to ensure that they implemented correctly. Now the developer has revealed the first look at the open world zombie game. Now, I've said this, right? And I know I have an emote. I predict things a lot. Okay, I said that Call of Duty is the Madden football first-person shooters, right? And this should prove it to you, right? Where they removed the zombie mode for a couple years, which let's just say it's the Cone of Vision, okay, in Madden. You take it out for a couple years, and then you put it back, and you're like, oh, look. Brand new Cone of Vision.
Brand new.
Never been done before in Madden unless you played Madden 5 years ago. That's what Call of Duty is, right? Goldfish brain. Goldfish brain. They're like, oh, Call of Duty. Got to play Modern Warfare. Love Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah, but if you have
Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 3 with zombies. Oh, my God. Like, that's what they do.
But Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 with an open world and zombies is basically Battlefield.
Yeah.
That's your open world Battlefield.
No, but it's with zombies.
I get it, man. I get it.
Zombies.
Listen, we've already solved the problem for EA.
So you know they're going to do a crossover with Walking Dead, right? We know this.
I mean, whatever gets the eyeballs on it, bro. Whatever gets the eyeballs on it.
Well, I can only imagine that they're taking characters that I think that Fortnite actually has Walking Dead characters, so maybe they can't. Maybe they have to make another zombie, another zombie show just so they can get those people.
It's if you don't see how the market is working, they're creatively stagnant. They're only doing remakes, and the ones that they are putting all the money behind are all live service games.
Yeah,
right. There's a couple games sprinkled through that are single-player, old-school type of games, and the reason why they're allowed to gamble on those atrocities, as they call them now, is because they have these other games that are bringing in revenue. Otherwise, you would never get Spider-Man. You would never get it.
Right.
In today's market, you would never get it because they'd be too scared to make it because they don't think that's going to make money. Apparently, today is the least creative the artist can be ever, because nobody wants to take the actual risk to try and make something because they need to have that guaranteed money. Whereas before, people were trying to make things and stick out, and so they could be noticed. And that's how we ended up with these conglomerates we have today. They didn't have microtransactions back then. They had millions of people buying your game. And that's how you were able to build the bigger studio. So the fact that they keep telling you over and over again that they can't do these things anymore is because they put themselves in this corner. Right? Yeah. They put themselves in the corner where then they're not allowed to take risks anymore. And so we have to make the carbon copy stuff over and over again. And we have to do remakes because I can't afford to keep all these people because I have to fire them every 2 years.
Well, they have to do the remakes because they don't, the budgets are too expensive to make a new IP and try it out.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Well, speaking of a company that just keeps reinventing itself, Sarge, remember Atari that we talked about I know you know Atari, but Atari just a couple months ago.
I know Atari.
Right? Atari a couple months ago came out with the Atari system that nobody wanted. So they said, hold my beer. We're going to come out with another console, and we don't know if anyone's going to buy it. But
you got a picture?
Yeah, I got a picture. Here it is.
Okay.
It's the Atari Game Station Pro. It's priced at $99. Okay, so that's got something going for it. Okay. It's the official licensed title, packed with over 200 built-in Atari plus bonus titles. wouldn't that just be 200 and whatever? Why don't you just say 205 games? Why is it 200 plus bonus titles? System connects directly to a TV. Oh my God, directly to a TV? That's amazing.
I don't know about that, man.
Why is that a feature? This system connects to your television. It blows my mind. I can imagine the person that pitched this. I'm gonna make an Atari system, and get this, it's gonna play games, and it connects to your television. Holy shit, Todd, that's amazing, right?
How much is this?
It's $100. $100.
Yeah.
Okay. Intuitive user interface, right? Intuitive user interface, dynamic RGB LED lights. Okay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things featuring for this console, and 2 of them so far that it plugs into a television set and it has lights that glow. Okay, it can't be doing that much. It can't be doing that much stuff. Okay, the game also game save options. Oh my God, 2023, we put a feature in there you can save your games. Amazing, because that was never on Atari. That was never on Atari.
Most games are 5 minutes or less. You don't need to save anything.
It includes USB power cable and HDMI cable, so you can go back to this one. It connects directly to your television. It comes with the cable to connect to your television. And the last one, titles include Asteroid, Centipede, Millipede, Breakout, Missile Command, Crystal Castle, and many more. Are you sold, Sarge? Are you
Go back
sold?
one picture. Go back one picture.
This one?
The first picture. Yeah. Go back one picture. Yeah. All right. So this is what I see when I look at the new Atari.
Okay.
The first thing I see is this system is very LGBTQ approved.
Yeah,
I can tell.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
Right? Because when you put 2 dildos as controllers,
I think it's just showing you the colors of them, but
yeah, when you put 2 dildos as controllers, right, and they are oversized joysticks. I mean, let's be honest, right? So what I'm looking at is fun for the whole family.
Fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
What's that knob do? What does that knob do?
After you're done playing
what is that
with
knob on there?
250 games, right? The 250 games that you're going to play for 3 minutes apiece.
I was just going to say, you played
3 minutes apiece.
You played for 260 minutes.
You have something to sit on at night to make yourself enjoy, right?
But because keep the lights off, so
nobody. No, the lights
festive.
on, so you can find it.
So it's festive.
So you can find it. Yeah. I mean, what? Listen, I understand everyone likes retro stuff. And it's cool. We all like retro stuff.
That's a pretty big controller. Look at that.
But you do know, like right now, you can just go to a game store, like an old classic game store, and buy an Atari if you want to play Atari games. Right? They sell them for like 50 cents. Like, right? And you can buy them, play them, and then sell them back to the guy, like almost like you rented it. Like you don't even have to buy it. Like, I don't understand the market for this, unless, of course, you're like a retro person, but if you're a retro person, you would buy the original.
Well, not only can you buy that for $100, Sarge, but you can buy this, the Atari Pocket Player Pro for $40. You can play Breakout.
Oh yeah,
you can play Breakout.
Yeah, you can play Breakout.
You get the Atari Micro Player Pro, right? Keywords there. And
is
then
is that an actual stand-up? Like an actual arcade cabinet?
No, that's like the ones that we used to have with Donkey Kong. Remember when we had like the miniature one? Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then you can also get the Atari Nano Player Pro, where they take an inch off the bottom. Right? You see the difference between this picture and that picture, Sarge?
Yep. Because 2 inches is a lot.
That's what she said, right? 2 inches is a lot.
Yep.
So
yep.
So that's Atari coming out.
I really don't get it, bro. Like, listen. I have they're in the closet. They're right there. Like the Atari games, all 150 of them that we have, and 2 Atari systems.
I have a browser.
Are there.
I have a browser. I can play every single game.
I don't know what. I don't understand people. I don't understand. Right?
They probably don't have Pac-Man because of licensing. I bet you, Eclipse. They probably don't have it because of licensing.
What licensing?
For Pac-Man.
The original Pac-Man on an Atari game isn't the real Pac-Man.
No, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. They probably won't. He's saying they probably won't even have Pac-Man on that system. I said, yeah, they probably won't have it because of licensing. That's what I'm saying.
You think Pac-Man? You think Pac-Man's license is still running?
I 100%.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, for sure.
All right.
Who made
that? Disney's in trouble with their patents, but Pac-Man's still roaming free.
Doesn't Pac-Man's owned by Namco, isn't it? Pac-Man is Developers BNE Entertainment, Namco, Nintendo, and more. Yeah,
I'm willing to bet, and you can put any amount of money you want, right? The people that have already played the games that are in our present universe right now, any game, even the shittiest game possible,
Namco
even Redfall, right? If you play Redfall and then you try to play an Atari game, right? I got news for you. Your brain will not allow you to use an Atari game as stimulus after you playing anything in current day.
Yeah, you won't.
Like
you won't
literally anything. You understand that the whole point of a video game is to stimulate your brain, right? It's an endorphin release, right? Your brain has seen all of this, and you think that an Atari game is going to hold your attention, that you're going to actually physically want to buy one? You guys are dreaming.
I just think it's funny because every time Atari comes out, every time they come out with a system, they're like, yeah, it plays all the old Atari games. We just talked about one 2 months ago. It said it plays the actual cartridges from the other one. And I'm like, what? Nobody
there's an
wants to
emulator
play
on your PC. I can pick any fucking game I want on the Atari right now. I will alt escape right now and go to an Atari game in less than a minute. I don't get it.
I could bring one up in 10 seconds.
I don't get it.
Well, here's something I don't get, right? This is what happens, though. Speaking of Pac-Man, right? If Pac-Man's license ever gets lost and it becomes public domain, okay, this is what it turns into. Are you ready? I'm going to show you Winnie's hole, okay? Winnie's hole.
I've been waiting all show for this.
This is you got to see this, sir.
I've been waiting all show for this. Okay. Winnie's hole. Show it to me.
I gotta make sure that everyone knows this is Winnie's hole. Okay, so let's start with this.
Oh my God, is a trailer?
Oh yeah, there's a whole that show you video gameplay.
Holy. Yep. Okay.
Here we go. Are you ready? Winnie's hole.
When life seems not to go our way, am I a mess? Am I okay? We know that change comes from within. You are that change beneath the skin. You play a virus, spread disease, explore expanding piece by piece. Find cells to grow, survive, transform. Adapt your host, perfect their form. More limbs and jaws, teeth and claws. Locate more hosts, infect the cause. To propagate our only cause. This story is not what it was.
Oh man.
What the fuck did I just watch?
You watched Winnie's hole. That's what it was.
What the fuck did I just watch?
Look at Winnie the Pooh there, man. This is what happens if your license goes bye-bye and it becomes public domain. So this is a think of like a dungeon crawler. It's a roguelike, okay? Chat's like, what is happening right now? So yeah, it's a game where you're a disease, okay? And you can see the top of the screen is like Darkest Dungeon type of stuff, right? And then there's a mini game at the bottom, and you're a disease, and you have to spread and keep growing, and then mutate Winnie the Pooh to basically become this monster that eats in other animals, and then he keeps getting bigger or stronger or whatever, and it's just like what the hell, right?
Just give me the name of the studio.
I don't know the studio. I would have to.
I'll look it up later. I'll look it up. I'll look at the studio.
Let's see.
So this is the fate. This is the fate of all Disney characters.
It says players will embody a virus tasked with capturing cells to grow more limbs and overtake Winnie the Pooh in a 2D strategy dungeon crawler roguelike RPG. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't think any of those last words are in this game.
I think it's Realms Deep. Realms Deep, I think is the
I don't think any of those last words are in this action RPG. Like, I don't think any of that's in there.
I mean, we always talk about taking chances, right?
This is, I will say this, though. If this is the fate of all Disney characters after Disney can't hold on to patents,
I can't wait to see what Mickey Mouse happens.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it a little bit just for that reason alone. just to see all Disney's characters get warped and disturbed into like the Thing. Yeah.
So real quick stories. Nintendo shutting down 3DS and Wii U online servers in 2024.
But we know why.
I would assume because the new system's coming out, they want to get rid of the old systems and get all those people with those old systems to move over to either the Switch or the Switch 2, right? Is what they're going to try to do. And you can't do that if people are still playing your games on the older devices, right?
That's correct.
Right. So they're going to be shutting down the 3DS and the Wii U online services in 2024 because that way it slowly closes down the stuff that's going out. And they're like, oh, wait, I can't play online anymore. Oh, I got to move to either the Switch. And now because the Switch 2 is coming out, the Switch 1 will drop in price and they'll buy the Switch 1 and then so on and so forth to get more people to come into their ecosystem, right?
Yep.
EA Sports. FC sales down compared to FIFA. Now, if you guys don't know what FC is, remember, EA didn't want to pay $500 million or whatever it was to FIFA, and they said, we're going to go without you and go behind your back, and they got the studios or the soccer teams to sign the deals, and once they got the big ones to sign, they got the small ones to sign, and so on and so forth. So despite a thing, it says EA's first release of soccer titles since losing the FIFA license, EA Sports FC 24 is seeking 30%. Seeing a 30% drop in physical sales compared to FIFA 23. Now, again, this is just the physical sales because we don't know what digital sales go, but they're looking in Europe anyway, right? So the last FIFA entry marked the end of the deal between the game publisher and the International Soccer Association, which allowed EA to release games featuring the FIFA title. Now, the final game was a major hit, prompting predictions that FIFA 23 would become the most successful title in franchise history, and now EA is faced with the moving on without the classic brand. So FIFA was the most highest selling FIFA game for them, and now this one, not so much, at least in physical copies. So I think this will change because it's still the only soccer game, right? I don't care what the name is. So
the whole being able to buy the license exclusively for whatever company also needs to stop. There's no reason why. And we all know the reason why, right? If there's no buying of license or buying exclusive licensing, then anybody can make a game based off that product. And the person who makes the best product of that game or that title or that IP, okay, is the one that sells.
Right.
If I buy an exclusive license, that means I don't have to worry about competition.
Don't have to worry about quality.
I buy it for so long that I'm the only one you can buy it from, which means quality goes down and I can charge you what I want because I'm the only game in town.
Right.
Pun intended on that one. Right. So this is why that stuff needs to stop. Period. I don't want to go back 7 months or a year, but I'm going to go back to it now. We need consumer protections in the gaming sphere, and we need them quick because the AI thing is coming down the road, right? And a lot of stuff's about to happen. A lot of jobs are going to be lost. A lot of mechanics and how things are going to work with hardware and software is going to change, right? Security issues is a big factor. We need consumer protections, period. And if you don't think we need them, the Sony thing should tell you, and the rest of the stuff that's happening now should also tell you, because there is no protections. They can do whatever they want. Right? I'm concerned. Concerned.
Go ahead.
Nope, that's it.
A couple other quick stories. Cyberpunk 2077 reaches 25 million copies sold, with the Phantom Liberty expansion at 3 million copies sold so far. So we do know that 8 million copies of Cyberpunk were sold before day one, right? And then after the chaos came out and 5 million more people bought it, so it was 13 million copies sold. And then since then, 3 years, right? They've sold 25 million copies, which should tell you that a lot of people waited, right? A lot of people waited to buy that game.
I think a good chunk
waited for that game to get fixed. And the expansion, so there's 25 million copies sold for Cyberpunk, but only 3 million. I say only, but 3 million are getting the expansion of Phantom Liberty. So it's in a really good spot right now. 25 million copies, man. That's I mean, obviously they made all their money back and then some day one. So even the 5 million that paid basically for the after the release paid for this expansion. You know what I mean? And then now this sold 3 million copies on top of that one. So they're okay.
That basically shows you the number of people who think like us.
Yeah, more people think like us that don't buy it straight day one.
Where you don't buy day one, you wait for the fixes. So that's a good chunk of people, about 8 to 10 million people.
Yeah, because if 8 million bought it day one and then 5 million people bought it week one, and then we're talking that's 13, and now we're at 25. So more people waited to buy it than they bought it. So that's a good sign, right? That's a good sign that most people don't buy it on day one.
it's a the okay sign.
Yeah,
I don't know.
half the people that bought the game waited 3 years or a year or whatever. Another thing with CD Projekt Red CEO stepping down and moving on to a new role. A longtime CD Projekt Red CEO Adam Konecki is stepping down from the current role of transitioning to a management position starting next January. He's a longtime CEO and CD stepping down from the current position and moving into a new role over the coming year. In the many years since CD Projekt humble beginnings, Adam has served in several different positions, and he worked in the marketing directing at 1999 to 2004, and the co-director of 2004 directed to 2006, and eventually president of CEO for CD Projekt Red from 2010 onwards till today. During nearly 30 years as part of CD Projekt Red, he led the company through many highs and lows, and from The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt's blockbuster success in 2015 to Cyberpunk's infamous 2020 launch, eventually Redemption, which is culminated in the release of the Phantom Liberty DLC. Now, I wonder if he's leaving because I believe that's the guy that stood in front of everyone and said that, we're not releasing a game until it's released or until it's finished. I wonder if he wanted to leave earlier, but because he fucked up, he wanted to see it through, which I can respect if that's the case, right? Like, he wanted to come and make sure that the game was finished, fixed now, and that the Phantom Liberty came out and it was in better condition when they released the original one.
I mean, if you're a professional and that's what you're doing, like that's what you do, I would say it's a plausible example. It's a plausible. Yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh, it's not him. It's not the guy. So I just looked it up, a picture of him. It's not the
Sure,
same
it's not
guy.
the same guy?
It's not the same guy. Yeah, it's not the same guy. But not to say that he didn't stay there until the game got finished, right? So I'll still give him credit. Maybe he wanted to leave earlier, but then was like, yeah, no, I want to make sure this gets done, and whatnot. And then the last story that we have is Cyberpunk 2077 live action project is in the works. So they had the animated cartoon that came out, and it was really good. I haven't watched it yet, but it got really good reviews. Then also Cyberpunk had a CD Projekt Red announced
there was an animated cartoon.
Yeah, there's an animated cartoon for Cyberpunk. It was announced in a press release they have partnered with Anonymous Content for live action Cyberpunk project. Anonymous content was produced Emmy-winning series such as Mr. Robot and True Detective, and Academy Award-winning films including The Revenant and Spotlight. CD Projekt Red is searching for a screenwriter to tell the brand new story in the set in the world of Cyberpunk 2077. It was not mentioned in the press release whether the project will be a series or a film, as it's still early in development. However, CD Projekt Red did mention that they're collaborating with Anonymous Content Studios, head of the television Garrett, and other studios, including Chief Creative Officer David Levany, who also involved in the early of Game of Thrones seasons during its time on HBO. So this is shaping up to be with the people that they're getting and the company that worked on certain projects. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing this when it comes out. I wouldn't mind seeing a live action Cyberpunk. I like that. I like that.
I think that you might get away with a movie, but you can't get away with a television series.
I don't know. I think the series did very well on Netflix. So.
No, I'm saying like if animated, yes, but like a live movie, no, like a live show.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because
you could do an animated you can do an animated series of Cyberpunk, yes. You can do a movie with real people of Cyberpunk, yes, but to do a television series live people with Cyberpunk, I don't believe so. It would be too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, look at what Disney's doing with their live action stuff. The budgets are through the roof and the quality's not there. So hopefully it comes out. It'll probably be out in like 2025, 2026, 2027, something like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's a fun thing. And I think that's it. I think that's all the major stories that we wanted to talk about on episode 368. Now we'll take some questions. If you guys have any questions, you can just put, at 30Q down below or in the chat. And we'll take your questions. Any questions from the topics that we talked about, or just questions in general, we'll stick around for about 10 minutes or so. If you guys don't have any questions,
I really don't think that it's gonna work though.
What, Cyberpunk?
A live action version.
I think. Well, why wouldn't it?
The closest would be Blade Runner.
I was just gonna say Blade Runner, but Blade Runner was
closest would be Blade Runner, but Blade Runner was
So slow.
You have to remember the time period that was done and how it was done, that was done and how it was done. Right? If you think about it, and you watch Blade Runner right now, I'm not talking about the new one. I'm talking about the old one. Watch Blade Runner. Anybody who's not seen Blade Runner, and think about that. All those effects are practical effects and old school special effects.
Right.
Very impressive.
Oh, I love it. Well, special effects back then were much better than special effects today. People don't think so, but they had to build them, right? They had to build all the special effects and stuff. Tyler says, do you think they will ever revoke licenses on the old games? Ubisoft has kind of done it with the Enzo series because they refused to patch the old version save glitch on the 360. When you say revoke license, are you talking like, for instance, like Ultimate Alliance and like Transformers got delisted because of license issues? Tyler, are you talking about something more of that, or are you talking what type of license issues are you talking about?
Maybe he's talking about like you can't play the game anymore. Period. The license, they get rid of the license, and now you don't get to play it.
Well, that's what happens now. Like, for instance, Battleborn, right? They closed that down, that license, I guess.
Yeah. See, like you can't play it anymore.
I mean, it happens.
I mean, let's be honest, Tyler. Think about it. Let's fast forward 10 years. It's not you anymore. It's just a general kid that's your age now, right? 10 years from now, all games are digital. There's no more cartridges. There's no more discs. There's no more nothing. It's all digital, right? You get to you keep clicking the I agree, and you play it. Then one day, you can't anymore, and you don't have it, and you don't have the choice.
I think
because the only way you play the game is digitally.
Well, he's saying, will they ever revoke licenses on old games?
Yeah, same shit.
So
yeah,
like bring them back, and I think they do. This is why they make remakes of certain games, because the license like for instance, the KOTOR one, right? They had a license with them originally, and then that license expired, okay? And now they're like, well, we would like to do it again. They're like, all right, well, they upped just a new license. It's the same license, but now it's a newer game, or it's a remake, or refurbished, or whatever it is. So they do it now in the industry, but I don't know if they're going to do it
well,
more.
I would say absolutely plausible, yes.
Sure.
Absolutely. In order to get you to move on to the next thing, we don't want you playing something old. We want you playing whatever the new thing we got coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I have games that I can't play, so they do that now because they delist them. And like Marvel's Avengers, right? That license is done, right? Embracer Group bought Crystal Dynamics. Crystal Dynamics is now part of Embracer Group. Marvel had a license with them. They didn't renew the license, so that license is removed from them. Hence why they stopped Marvel's Avengers now. Now nobody can buy Marvel's Avengers. You can't buy it. If you own it, you play it. But you
when
can
did
never
that
buy
happen?
it. It just ended right now. September was the last day.
Oh.
Yeah. So you could play it. Me and you can play, but no one else could buy it. It's done. Unless someone ups it the license again and says, "Hey, I want the license of Marvel's Avengers." And Embracer Group or anybody else is like, "Okay, sure." And then they take the game and they can make it themselves a remake, or they can buy it from Embracer Group. Anybody else have any questions?
It's crazy.
Mo says mature Cyberpunk can make it. I think so, but then aren't you sort of on the lines of like Westworld? I mean, I know it's not cyberpunk-ish, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's a mature and that ran, but then it sucked after like 2 seasons, after the second season.
Yeah, I don't know what happened afterwards. I don't remember watching season 3, so someone told me that it went off the rails.
Yeah, it jumped shark. Let's see.
It was very good in the beginning.
Sure. But that's what I'm saying. Cyberpunk, if it's mature, could be really good, but then it also might lose its lust per se. Sort of like True Blood. True Blood was a more mature, sexualized vampires and stuff, and it was really big the first 2 seasons, and then it started slowly going down.
That was a good series.
Yeah. Yeah, Marvel Heroes. God, I love the Marvel Heroes. Salty says, then you get the people online selling games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out of the shadows for $1,000. Yeah. Well, when we picked up Transformers a couple months ago, right? We went to the store. They were selling it for $250 online, but then I showed up in the store and they're like, "Hey, I'll give it to you for $40." I was like, "What? Okay, GT6 announcement prediction." I mean,
mid to late October, some kind of tease is coming.
Yeah, I would say I'm sticking with it. I mean, I said it.
I don't know about an announcement, but I'll give you the tease.
I said something months and months and months ago, Krebsy. I mean, obviously, it's changed over the years because we always thought Grand Theft Auto was coming in 2020 and then 2021. I said that they would make an announcement sometime in October. I said the 24th is what I said. But I don't think the 24th. I think 24th is a Friday. Is that what it is? I don't even know. I think it was a Tuesday. Maybe it wasn't the 24th. Let me look at let's see, October. Oh, 24th is a Tuesday. Yeah, I'll stick with the 24th. I know people are saying because of the moon on the picture that it might be on the full moon, which is the 26th or something. But I'll stick with the 24th. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's like Y2K.
Oh, at this point, I would have wished Y2K happened.
Yeah, you were in Vegas in 2000.
Yeah, I was in Vegas for the millennia change.
Yeah,
yeah.
I threw a house party,
and that's why I can't do New Year's anymore.
Yeah, I threw a house party at our parents' house. Dad was there. He had 102 fever. He had the flu. And then he drank some Hunch Punch that we made in the Kool-Aid. Like it was a Kool-Aid, but it had like an X on it. It was a bunch of grain alcohol. And he kept going back to the cooler, and there was one that wasn't alcohol, and there was one alcohol. And, Dad doesn't drink. And he was sick, like a dog. And he was just drinking it and then just started sweating profusely. Within a couple of hours, we cured him. Like he was good. Drunk as all could be, but next day, he didn't have the flu anymore. So that's what I was doing on Y2K.
That's a trip I can't even discuss on a podcast for the New Year's trip for the millennia change.
Yeah. And then I tricked everybody by running to the garage and then shutting the power down, and everyone freaked out because that's what, if you guys were alive then, people know, they thought the world was coming to an end.
Because the date on all the computer things didn't go 4 decimal places. That's why. Yeah.
Krebsy says we'll see GTA 5 characters. Will dildo be thrown? Do you expect Red Dead Redemption 2 graphics or better? And should Disney be put in a game? Should Disney be put in the game? Oh, because it's in Florida. Yeah, they're definitely
question.
They're definitely
Good
going to
question.
They're definitely going to put an amusement park in
Good question. An amusement park in the Orlando section of GTA. Wow.
What is Disney
think about
called?
Oh God. Good question.
It's going to have to start with a D because it has to represent Disney.
Oof. I think that'll be the best, one of the best jokes of the whole game.
It'll be like Bolt Bidney or something. Bolt Didney.
No, it's never a name that even rhymes, ever. You just know what it is.
Yeah.
Like the name could be with anything, but they would never rhyme. Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
I don't think there'll be dildos in there. That's a Saints Row thing. Will it have Red Dead Redemption 2 graphics or better? Yes, it'll have it'll have better graphics than Red Dead Redemption.
I'm going to have to say it's going to probably be pushing the limits of what the system can do. That's for sure. Because it's going to be that game is going to release during the tail end of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox.
No. If it comes, I think it's coming next year, which is 4 years in.
We'll see.
4 years in.
The only thing that pisses me off about Rockstar is because of the popularity of their game, that they're in a whole different universe all on their own now because they don't have to make games.
Nope.
Well, it's definitely now where they don't make games.
It's definitely not going to be a game.
They make a game. They make a game, and they just sell microtransactions inside that game.
It's going to be Grand Theft Auto 6 Online is going to be what Second Life was back in the early 2000s.
And that's going to be nutty though if that's true.
There's supposedly supposed to be gambling inside the game.
Well, there's always been some type of gambling.
No. In-game currency, sort of like in Second Life, and then the government had to come in and step in because people were using it for real money. You can't transfer your money out, but there's going to be something.
Well, they were using it for laundering purposes.
Well, laundering and
Second Life was used for laundering.
Yeah,
which was incredible.
Walt's Fairyland could be the good title. Yeah.
I see the explosion of GTA 6 to be way worse than what Cyberpunk was. Like the
What
amount
do
of
you mean?
popularity and what's going to happen. Like all the fluff, all the pumping up, all the craziness was happening around the release of Cyberpunk. When Grand Theft Auto 6 releases, it's going to make that look like nothing.
Oh yeah, because what did Cyberpunk have before? Nothing. It had Witcher. Grand Theft
No, I
Auto
know
is a
that.
series of 3, 4, 5, 6, Vice City, San Andreas. You know what I mean? Like there's all of these ones leading up to it. There's gonna be no game in the history of games that is gonna be as hyped up as Grand Theft Auto 6 when it says.
I have to agree with that.
It's going to be the number. It's going to blow away Cyberpunk with pre-orders and whatnot. It will sell.
I think so.
It will sell over 10 million units before the game comes out. At $100.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, man.
That would break its own record of being the most popular, or most. What was it? The most.
I don't know. I don't know if it would break it long term as 188 million best piece of entertainment.
Yeah,
but it will break records for like week 1, month 1, year 1 type of stuff. 20 million. It has to sell 20 million units for over a decade to compete. That's a lot, man. 10 years they sold 188 million.
But remember what I said. I still believe, I'm not changing my mind. I still believe that Grand Theft Auto 5 is the pinnacle.
And this is going to go slightly down.
And this is going to be a little bit.
No,
it'll be great. It'll be great. But
at the end of 8 years from now, we look back and go, Grand Theft Auto sold 168 million. Be like, well, it's not as successful as Grand Theft Auto 5. Fine, but it still sold ridiculous amounts of. And this is why I say I think it'll sell more day 1, week 1, month 1, year 1. But I don't think maybe it won't sell as much because 20 million units every year for a decade. That's what you have to do.
Don't you think? But
there's games that can't sell 20 million in their lifetime. This is doing it every year.
Yeah, but don't you think at some point, just by sheer luck, that there's someone who's working for Rockstar who happened to be working on that game, who was fired and hasn't leaked any information? Like nobody's leaked anything. This is the most tight-lipped ship of guys ever.
There's been people though.
There must be mob people that wait to knows everyone's address and like they hang out by their house.
There was an artist that
no one knows anything.
There was an artist that worked on it that got leaked. There's the people that got the thing. There's disgruntled employees, sure, but Rockstar has a lockdown, man. They have the NDAs. They didn't do anything to the guy, right? When he leaked the 45 minutes, it took forever, right? Supposedly he's going to jail, getting sentenced, right, to prison for his leaks, right? But not because of the leaks being a disgruntled employee, because he fucking hacked into their system to get the shit, right? So if someone came out and was like, I'm the artist and this is what it is, I don't think that's going to happen because Rockstar's got they dot their I's and cross their T's. They make sure that people that are working for the company don't say shit, which it should be.
Well, this is why I say
I agree with NDAs.
This is why I say there's no such thing as leaks. All the information that you hear is meant to be heard.
If it has the detail of Red Dead Redemption 2, it has a chance. I think it will. I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't even see why they couldn't. They could technically take what Red Dead is, right, the map, and they could bring that as a DLC, but now it's the future. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same map that you played in the Western times, but now you're playing it online in GTA 6, and it's a place you travel to, but now it's built up and there's houses and cities and stuff, right? That's a map built. So to assume that they wouldn't do the same type of graphics, I mean, it's crazy. They could put Mexico. They could put. We talked about this like 5-6 years ago, where Dan Houser was talking about how they could make the world. They literally could make the world. They could just keep adding stuff to it. Like we talked about Starfield, how they made a universe and they could just keep adding content to the universe, right? Grand Theft Auto is just smaller chunks of land, and then they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna make the whole planet. We can make the whole planet." Can you imagine if Rockstar made a space game like Starfield, but what Rockstar does with Grand Theft Auto, but in space?
Yeah, but I wouldn't see that game until I was dead. I'd be dead.
No, yeah, we'd be like 80, 90 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. How long it takes them to make a game now is, come on, man.
Yeah. I still have to finish. Tyler says I still have to finish GTA 4. Oh man, let's go on, Power Boss. Power Boss, you come in right at the end of the show, right?
Yeah,
right at the end of the show.
What's going on, bro?
All right, the reason I think it would
are you on daylight savings or something already? Like, what is happening?
The reason I think it would do is do the cars thing, population, reflections, windows, etc. The modern era, I think will eat more resources than Western. Sure, but they got some crazy technology over at Rockstar, man. I mean, look at the details they're putting, right? It's all right. Let me put it this way: Rockstar, in my opinion, with Grand Theft Auto 6, and then we're gonna end the stream, is gonna be like, remember when they showed Beyond Good and Evil 2, and they showed you what that world was, and like you can go up into space, and how open it was, and how they got the music in, and all this stuff. That's what online is gonna be for Grand Theft Auto 6. It's gonna be like this evolving, adapting world that constantly changes, and Grand Theft Auto 5 is gonna look like a preschool to what Grand Theft Auto 6 online is gonna be.
We're hoping, because if you hold all the game for this long, man,
yeah, you won't see Grand Theft Auto 7 until I'm
in your lifetime.
Until I'm 60, 65. I'm 45 now. Okay, you're not going to see a Grand Theft Auto 7
because once again, if the game does that well with an online version, you don't need to make another game.
You're not going to see a Grand Theft Auto 7. You're just going to see Grand Theft Auto Universe. And it's just going to be a subscription model of some sort that you're paying and playing to live in the metaverse of Grand Theft Auto. It'll be
the most ridiculous MMO ever.
It'll be like Ready Player One, right? But inside that world.
Yep.
Right. All right. That's going to do it for Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way. Episode 368 is in the can. We do appreciate you for coming out. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Thank you very much for the memberships tonight. Lurker gifted 20 gifted memberships, and Chris also became a member. We do appreciate you guys all. Round of applause for you all for becoming members and for the gifted memberships. Appreciate it very much. We'll be back. We're doing a show tomorrow with Lono, or I am anyway, I think. So that's around like noon time. And then I'll be back. Friday night, tomorrow night. I am going to I don't know if I'm going to do it on this channel or if I'm going to do it on Nerding with 30, but I just got to get it off my chest. I'm a Star Wars fan. I just got done watching Ahsoka. Okay, I got shit to say. I want to talk to you guys. Okay, anyone that's watched the Ahsoka show, and we just talk about Star Wars in general. I'm gonna have a stream tomorrow night just talking about it. There's no structure. It's just me talking about Star Wars. And if you guys want to talk about Star Wars, come on out, hang out with us. I'll let you know if it's on this channel or if it's on Nerding with 30.
Who's in for Dark Tide? Who's in?
Anybody that wants to play Warhammer tonight, just hit me up in Discord or if you're already on my friends list and you want to play. Hit me up when we're playing. We're not streaming tonight. Me and Sarge are just going to play. Appreciate it very much. See you guys on the next one. Peace.
Game on, guys.
They're two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.